approval of the federal government and Governor Tony Evers.
Well, the extreme weather pounding Southern California, finally heading east after sitting over Los Angeles. And Sunday, ABC's Alex Stone is in Los Angeles.
Even though the rain is moving out, rivers are full and raging. The ground is saturated, and there's a high danger of mudslides. LA Fire Chief Kristen Crowley warning.
Do not let your guard down. We advise residents to exercise caution if they must venture out.
A few more days of isolated heavy rain will continue to cause some problems, but the widespread heavy rain is ending. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And the groundhog said spring would come early, and one local golf course is happy to oblige. Grant Golf Course in South Milwaukee will open tomorrow at 9 a.m. and be walking only. The course will remain open as long as the weather continues to be mild, hopefully through this Saturday.
Well, the Bucks' 5-game Western Conference road trip wraps up tonight in Phoenix against the Suns. Our coverage gets underway at 8:30 on WTMJ. Keep an eye on the NBA trade deadline set for 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon. And the Brewers are signing free agent pitcher Jacob Junis to a 1-year, $7 million contract, according to baseball insider Ken Rosenthal.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:04.
This report is sponsored by Creative Planning. Give your wealth a second look. CreativePlanning.com.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Milwaukee Neri and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com. Brewers win!
Get more from your live baseball experience with the 2024 Brewers Ticket Plan. On sale now. Don't miss more exclusive Brewers season seat holder rewards, like your very own batting practice session, more can't-miss action, and more access to the game you love. It's your ticket to being a VIP Brewers fan this season. Plus, you'll enjoy savings on ticket prices you can't get anywhere else. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Home and auto insurance continues to get more turbulent. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thank you, Vince. It's hard to remember a time when the home and auto insurance market was this complex. Insurance companies are getting out of the personal insurance business altogether. The cumulative effect of inflation on home repairs, auto repairs, and used cars is staggering. Higher deductibles are being applied to roofs for perils like wind and hail, meaning more out-of-pocket expense for the consumer. Insurance companies are extremely focused on writing only profitable new business and raising premiums to cover the increased cost of claims.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As a business insurance top 100 firm, Our deep industry knowledge and our team of professionals carefully and accurately design insurance programs that protect our clients and their most valuable assets while being competitive on price. At R&R Insurance, we know home and auto insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great one. Another very mild day out there. Niz joins us coming up at 5:38. How long does this last? I think you might be surprised. Niz in depth at 5:38. Greg Matzik is here. Debbie's on your roads. Jessica, Julian, and a team of warriors are in the newsroom today. And Sam's producing the heck out of this show, if I might say so myself. 8 minutes in, and she's doing a really good job, isn't she? Yeah. What are we tracking today?
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, Greg, where do we start?
Well, John, the Milwaukee Common Council backing a proposal urging that first responders be required to get out of their ambulances to search for people in need of help following a 911 call.
This is a tragic story. So Jolene Waldorf on January 15th, that was the really, really cold stretch. Sub-zero temperatures. She's at the bus stop in Milwaukee, and she actually made a call herself and said, I'm in distress. I'm having trouble. I can't breathe. And then a couple people that were bystanders called and said, there is a woman in trouble here. And a private ambulance service, Curtis Ambulance, drove by. They were dispatched. They drove by, did not get out. Drove by again, did not get out. And eventually, Milwaukee Fire Department responded after another 911 call, and they found her, and she passed away from hypothermia. It was a terrible story. Well, now a resolution introduced by Alderman Lamont Westmoreland would require that responders exit their vehicles and search for those requiring assistance at and beyond the location or landmark to which responders were dispatched. So they were told, go to the bus stop, there's a lady down there. They didn't see her, and so they didn't get out. This would change all of that. This is not in play yet, but it could be soon if aldermen and alderwomen have their way in Milwaukee. We'll continue to update you on this story. All right, what's next?
Well, there we go. 25,000 baseballs, roughly 1,000 bats, 60 cases of bubble gum. Not cleaning out the garage at the Mercure House. No, the Brewers equipment truck is loaded and Arizona bound. Pitchers and catchers report February 15th.
And Julian from our newsroom was there today. This is always a fun story, Julian.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, tens of thousands of all this stuff going out. It's really just, it's like this. It's the time for summer and spring. Like, that's what Senior Vice President of Communications, Tyler Barnes, was saying. Like, this is the time, the change of the year, basically. I mean, we got to speak to him, and he said, it's just... Like, he said if he had one word to describe how he feels heading into the season, it'd be excited.
In terms of the composition of the roster, I really am very excited about where we are as a team. That first day that you walk out there and hear the pop of the glove with the ball going in, there's nothing like it.
So, go ahead.
No, yeah, he said he really wants to try to have it as like a bullish type of future while still focusing on trying to actually win a World Series. Like, that's what he said, and he's hoping he can stick to it.
I love this because it's the day where usually we're in the heart of winter. It's very mild this year, but it's that day where you get to think about the sunshine, you get to think about the ball yard, you get to think about 2,000 shirts and 200 batting helmets getting shipped south, and it just kind of seems like it's always we're going to get to spring now.
Pitchers and catchers report on the 15th, the first spring training game, and our first spring training broadcast scheduled for February 24th. And we'll have 14 spring training games on WTMJ and another 4 exclusively on 94.5 ESPN.
I love it. Julian Johnson, thank you.
No problem.
It's 3:12 at WTMJ. We've got one more. What is it, Greg?
I don't know if it ever achieved number one status back in 1988 when the song came out, but this is the number one song on the Apple iTunes charts 36 years after its release.
I remember when we were driving in your car, speed so fast I felt like I was drunk. City lights stay out before.
Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, of course, fresh off her appearance at the Grammys alongside country singer Luke Combs. Chapman's song getting a bit of a revival thanks to Combs, who did a cover of it. Became very popular. Chapman won a Country Music Award recently, and now she is number one on the Apple iTunes charts.
This is amazing stuff. She hasn't toured since 2009. It's been 15 years. She says she hasn't performed in almost 5 years. But Luke Combs explained that the song brought back memories from him, from his childhood. It makes him feel bonded to his father. He recorded the song, as you said, himself. And he says it was such a thrill to play it with Chapman. And it sounded good. It was really, really cool to see the two of them up there.
They didn't do too much with it. They sang the song as it was designed. But you're right. Tracy Chapman leads a very private life. You know, she's not really in the social media space. She is not front and center everywhere you go. It's kind of tricky to find her. So it was a great performance. Maybe the performance of the night at the Grammys.
I love it. She performed it in 89, too, the year after it became a really big hit. And now she is back and doing it again. It's such a cool song. 3:13 at WTMJ.
Something out there that I should know about?
Hi there, I was trying to report a traffic accident for your traffic reporter, Debbie Lazica.
Call me, Debbie Lazica, at thehallmazda.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hi, Debbie, it's Michael. Eastbound 894, and there's a fender bender, and these guys are blocking the right lane.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Thanks, Deb. Hey, replacement windows and doors, where do you start? How about Siding Unlimited? There you go. Why? Well, you know about Siding Unlimited's Contractor of the Year awards from Pella, right? But tell me about those. Well, Siding Unlimited offers many other choices, too. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass windows, traditional, contemporary, you name it. Siding Unlimited will work with your style. They'll also work with your budget. And whatever choices you make, be assured that Wisconsin's climate extremes, well, they're going to stay out there to look at, not inside to bother you. So start and end with Siding Unlimited. Local, family-owned, honest, reliable, knowledgeable, and skilled. All sorts of great options, too. You want windows? Think siding. That's Siding Unlimited. Wisconsin's best, America's best. SidingUnlimited.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Is it time to give your home a new look?
Absolutely.
Get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling has a design team ready to help with all flooring and remodeling needs, including tub-to-shower conversions. Want to create your dream kitchen, including cabinets? How about the rec room? Adair Floors and Remodeling has been family-run in Franklin for over 65 years. For floors and all home remodeling needs, get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin, and online at adairfloors.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazica. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Got an interesting thing going on in Kenosha County, heading southbound on 94, right about at Highway 50, Highway C area. We've got the left lane blocked. They're calling it an incident. We got a whole bunch of squads there with that left lane blocked off. They got it coned off there. So just be extra careful if you're heading southbound past that scene. Now, on the other side of the wall, there is a couple of squads on the left shoulder right at that spot as well. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading through that area. Might be causing a little bit of a distraction or slowdown. Otherwise, westbound on 94, just watch yourself a little bit right from 27th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. By the time you get to Holly Road, you are good to go all the way out through Waukesha County. 43 north and southbound as well as 41, both looking really good right now. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 32 degrees with a little bit of a south wind. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and mild, a high of 48. Thursday, cloudy, breezy, chance for rain, a high of 54. Friday, still much above average for the temps. Cloudy, breezy, mild, slight chance for showers, a high of 53. On Saturday, cloudy, breezy, cooler, a high of 42 degrees. Lots of people liking those really mild temps. Not so much in the Northwoods. We'll go there coming up at 4:09. Talk to a guy who owns a local snowmobile shop. It is rough up there. Right now, partly sunny and 42 degrees. Some tough language surrounding what's going to happen with the border deal, the immigration bill in Washington. President is weighing in. The former president has weighed in. Stephen Portnoy is ABC's national correspondent based in Washington, and he is with us this afternoon. Boy, Stephen, this has just turned into a mess.
It certainly has. And as you look, Chuck Schumer, the top Senate Democrat, said today this is a bad day for the Republic. And he might be disappointed, not just that this, what he wants to become law is not going to become law, but also the reason behind it. And that is that this delicate bipartisan compromise didn't last 48 hours. That Republicans today signaled that they would filibuster the bill that they were a part of negotiating when that comes up for a vote tomorrow. And what does it say about Washington's ability to get anything done? And the idea that, hard problems can be solved through bipartisan compromise. Look, everyone knew going in that it was going to be incredibly difficult to get a border policy deal done because everyone had entrenched views and, positions that they were afraid to vacate or otherwise abandon. And so what you had was a delicate compromise that involved an effort to try to ramp up deportations and ramp up detentions, things that Democrats were not happy about, but they swallowed because they know that the president is vulnerable on this now. And you had Republicans willing to agree to asylum reforms that would have asylum seekers released into the country with supervision or monitoring of some type. And you would have a trigger whereby if a certain number of migrants were trying to cross each day, something like 5,000, although it was a mathematical formula, that it would allow the president to order the president to shut down the border such that there'd be a certain number of migrants who would be allowed in. And look, the point is Republicans in the House said no thanks. They said that they passed a bill last year, H.R. 2, that includes what they want to see. And what they're counting on is the election of Donald Trump to be president of the United States. And when he's president, they believe that he's going to, on his own, enforce the existing immigration law in a way that the country will find more favorable. And that Joe Biden has presided over this influx and that he has shown fecklessness. This is the Republican position. And the best solution right now the better solution is to do nothing if Democrats won't accept the provisions in H.R. 2, which would dramatically reform the system, and Democrats are not about to accept that. So where we are right now is nowhere. And you got to wonder how the United States is going to live up to its commitments, stated commitments, from the leaders of both parties to support Ukraine in its effort to fend off Russian aggression, and how it's going to stand by Israel. Today, the House is going to vote on a bill that would fund Israel without any kind of border provisions, but the president yesterday threatened to veto it because it's a standalone bill, and he would prefer that these things be worked out together. So, and by the way, one other thing, tonight the House is expected to vote to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary. So quite an interesting day here in Washington, D.C.
Yes, to put it mildly, Stephen, it looked like we were kind of working toward a breakthrough, and that didn't last terribly long. The Republican senators who opposed the bill, in their eyes, what does the bill lack? What does it not do enough of?
Well, it's interesting. The Republicans who were a part of these negotiations and the Republican Senate leader who was championing the negotiations, Mitch McConnell, they say it's simple, that the Speaker of the House has his objections. And because the Speaker of the House has objected and says that it's dead in his chamber, why should Republicans stick their necks out at this moment in time when you have the man who would be the standard bearer of the party, the former president, Donald Trump, saying that Republicans would be stupid to sign on to what he calls a death wish for the Republican Party. And so with the House members locking their arms against this, the Senate Republicans are going to say, well, if they're not going to accept it anyway, why should we take this vote? And so tomorrow they're expected to vote to block this bill from moving forward. They're going to filibuster it.
Stephen, I find myself thinking about Ronald Reagan. And Republicans used to say that they admired Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan probably couldn't even get elected today because he's willing to talk to Tip O'Neill. But my question is, when you think about guys like Reagan and guys like Tip O'Neill, are there still voices in the Senate or in the House that are willing to really talk to the other side and be able to do it in a way that they can move something forward and have their own caucus get behind it?
A small number. And one of the reasons why Chris Murphy, the Democrat negotiator, said that he was so demoralized and really bewildered by all this today. He even said on the floor, what the hell happened here? How could this have happened? What's demoralizing to him is the idea that the Senate, as a place where bipartisan deals can emerge, is now undermined. And you really do have to wonder how the Congress can tackle, in a dynamic that we currently have, where the Republicans have an extremely narrow majority, where the Democrat in the House, the Democrats have a rather narrow majority in the Senate too, and you need 60 votes, and the two parties, generally speaking, are so polarized, how it is that the Congress is positioned to solve big problems when the country is divided on these issues too. And it sounds so easy, right? And we can all just sit in a room and hammer out our differences. But what you can't do is you can't remove the fact that this is going on in a political context. And the current president of the United States is weak on this issue, and his political opponents want to take advantage of it. And as much as Democrats want to try to demonstrate that they're willing to work with Republicans to do something, and Republicans in the Senate certainly wanted to demonstrate that they were interested in making law, it just doesn't seem to have worked out. And in their infinite wisdom, the founders set up a system whereby sometimes it's very difficult to get anything done. And that's playing out before our eyes in real time.
So, Stephen, a vote is scheduled for tomorrow. Is this thing really going to move through, do you believe, or are we kind of at a stalemate?
Well, it's likely. I mean, everyone seems to believe now that the vote, when it comes, will fail to achieve 60 votes tomorrow, that Republicans en masse, and maybe even some Democrats, too, will vote to block it. Democrats who oppose it have their own reasons. They say it's too strict. Never mind, not tough enough. So it will likely fail. That's everyone's expectation now. If it turns out differently tomorrow, we'll all be surprised. And then the bigger question is, again, how does the United States live up to its commitment to support Ukraine in its effort against Russia? And how does the United States support Israel in its war against Hamas? There's no real vehicle for that right now. And the president today was asked whether he would support standalone measures. He said he wasn't really ready to concede on that. Remember, it was the Republicans' idea last fall that the United States should not spend another dime to help Ukraine defend its border without fixing the problem on the American border with Mexico. And so for the last 4 months, there have been these bipartisan negotiations to try to solve that problem. And that delicate negotiation finally ended. The bill was released 2 days ago, and now it's dead.
It's stunning how fast this happened. ABC's Stephen Portnoy is the national correspondent based in Washington. Stephen, thank you so much.
You bet.
I think it's just so frustrating when we teach our kids to talk things out. We teach our kids to compromise. We teach our kids to be principled and flexible at the same time. And in Washington, we're getting nothing of that. None of that. There are, 535 members of Congress, and there's maybe 10% of that that's willing to listen to the other side, and then they're afraid they can't win an election, so then they stop listening to the other side. And what happens in the Senate happens on a regular basis. People actually agreed to the compromise, and now former President Trump weighs in, and they're backing away from it. And this has nothing to do with me about the policy we're discussing. It's the process, and it is so broken. It's just so broken. It is 3:26 at WTMJ. Stocks eked out a gain as earnings flowed in. Everything ended in the green. The S&P 500 was up 11. The Dow was up 141. The NASDAQ was up 11 points on the day. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Restrictions apply. A better bath awaits.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep. Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, a car stolen with 2 children inside.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we got an issue on westbound 894. The 60th Street off-ramp is blocked right now because of a vehicle fire. So now we've got backups basically stretching all the way back past 27th Street. The eastbound side's even kind of slowing down with all the smoke in the air, kind of slowing everybody up. So be careful with that. Westbound 94 slowing from 25th Street all the way through the stadium interchange. The eastbound side now starting to bunch up just a little bit right through the stadium itself. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low of 32. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy and mild temperatures with a high of 48. At 3:30, it's 40 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a brazen car theft with the driver only steps away from his vehicle.
Adam Jorgensen tells TMJ4 News he had stepped out of his car after taking it through the Quick Trip car wash at 27th and College. That's when another person jumped in his SUV and took off, with his daughters, 2-year-old Anna and 8-year-old Charlie, in the back.
Then he told me to get out of his car. I was like, should I run and be a scaredy cat, or should I save my sister too?
Charlie stayed, and the driver ditched the car at Batteries Plus a mile down the road, where father and daughters were reunited shortly.
I ran as fast as I could out of the back of that cop car to hug them.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Common Council is urging change to emergency response policies after the death of a woman at a city bus stop in January.
By a unanimous vote amongst the council members present, the body adopting a resolution spearheaded by Alderman Lamont Westmoreland.
I think this is a good opportunity for us to ensure they're improving their policy.
The resolution calls for responders to exit their vehicles and search for those requiring assistance at or beyond where responders were dispatched. Monday, Curtis Ambulance President James Baker said he would meet with fire officials Wednesday to discuss various policy and protocol changes. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A Milwaukee resident testing positive for Mpox. The City of Milwaukee Health Department says the individual tested positive last Friday, the first identified case of Mpox in Milwaukee since June of 2023. Mpox often shows up as a painful rash or sores resembling pimples or blisters. It's contracted through close personal contact with someone with symptoms. The health department will offer a free drive-through Mpox vaccination this Saturday at the Northwest Health Center in Milwaukee. Milwaukee Parks Foundation is hoping to shore up its lifeguard numbers through a new program called Aquatic Ambassadors. The program will also promote swimming in Milwaukee County. Lloyd Seawright is one of the first 6 ambassadors. He tells TMJ4 News.
I grew up right up the bluff from Bradford Beach. My last name is Seawright. Been swimming and playing in the water since I was a child. Love to swim, love to paddle, love to row, love to dive. It's just all around an attractive environment to be in.
Seawright adding he believes everyone should have safe access to our lakes, rivers, and pools, and he hopes to work to make that a reality in his new role. The Brewers are starting to gear up for the season ahead at American Family Field.
Tens of thousands of baseballs, gloves, and more equipment getting shipped out today to Phoenix, Arizona for Brewers spring training. Brewers Senior Vice President of Communications Tyler Barnes tells WTMJ that if he had one word to describe how he's feeling ahead of camp, it'd be
excited. This is the most excited I've been just in terms of the composition of the roster. I really am very excited about where we are as a team. That first day that you walk out there and you hear the pop of the glove with the ball going in, there's nothing like it.
From American Family Field, Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
The first spring training game is February 24th. The Bucks' 5-game Western Conference road trip wraps up tonight in Phoenix against the Suns. Coverage begins at 8:30 right here on WTMJ. The NBA's trade deadline is 2 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. And the Brewers are signing free agent pitcher Jacob Junis to a 1-year, $7 million contract. I'm Jessica Gatso, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 3:34.
Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. We're passionate about continuing on our mission to help more Wisconsin businesses create more success. If you have any questions about our insurance products or just want a second opinion about your insurance or employee benefits, I invite you to check out ANSI.com, or better yet, give us a call at Yancey & Associates. And let's have a conversation about your business and how we can help you secure, protect, and grow your version of the American dream.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets. Did you know people with shoe racks are 7 times more likely to be on time for work? Inspired Closets will help you calm the chaos in your closets or your laundry room, your pantry, any space that needs it. They come out for a free visit, listen to your needs, and then use their special 3D software to customize a space that helps you manage your world. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. Inspired Closets, MKE.com.
The pain was so bad I could barely walk, and now after stem cell treatment, I run marathons.
Now this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenex, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
As an independent tire and service center, our loyalty is to you, not the manufacturer.
It's the tire manufacturer's goal to design a superior tire.
But it's our job to ensure the right tires are properly installed on your vehicle.
A service our family has been independently providing for the past 2 generations. So make no mistake about it, our loyalty is to you.
And the dozens of tire brands we carry, like Goodyear, General, and Pirelli,
or Continental, Kelly, and Dunlop, well, that's for you too.
Because we won't know what type of tire you need until you get here.
So instead, we carry them all.
Because we install them all.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair.
Which means you're 100% covered.
No questions asked.
I guess you could call it family tradition.
Be safe, buckle up, and hey.
Always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. Your
due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service. Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
I want to follow up on a story that we've been talking about off and on the show. I think we can all agree that it's not an easy job to be a police officer or a firefighter, and they're in the line of fire, literally, often. So in Milwaukee, there are a bunch of firefighters and police officers, as in every major city, that are on disability. They have been hurt on the job and they can no longer work. So a Supreme Court decision recently forced the city of Milwaukee to recalculate how it determines benefits for 170 retired firefighters on duty disability. So in Milwaukee, 170 firefighters are on retired duty disability. As a result of that, the injured firefighters are going to get additional payments of $4 million, an average of $23,000 a firefighter, okay? So there's a law firm in Milwaukee, McGillis Weimer, that represented the firefighters. So McGillis Weimer is going to get a third of that. That was going to go to disabled firefighters, over $1 million. $1.3 million goes right to the law firm because they represent the firefighters. After the Supreme Court ruling, the city of Milwaukee decided to recalculate the benefits for 96 retired Milwaukee police officers on duty disability. And that's going to happen. So now the Milwaukee police officers on disability are going to get money. These are officers that have been shot, been beat up, been in car crashes. So now the law firm argues that the police officers should also pay the firm a third of their back benefits, even though the firm did not represent the police officers. The city decided after the firefighter scene to pay the police officers, but the law firm says, you know what? You're right. We did not represent the police officers, but if we hadn't brought this to everybody's attention, they wouldn't be getting the money, so we deserve a third of it. It's a doctrine called common fund doctrine, which says a lawyer who recovers a pool of money for individuals other than his clients is entitled to a fee from the entire sum if they brought this to light. Well, the police department and those that represent the police officers are going nuts. They're saying, are you kidding me? This law firm did not even represent the police officers, and now a guy who got shot in the face, instead of getting $30,000, is going to get $20,000. I have in my hand a letter from the International Union of Police Associations. The International Union. Yesterday we had the local union on. They said they thought this was terrible and atrocious. This is from the International Union, written to Christopher McGillis, the guy at the law firm. This is in response to your firm's petition to have a Milwaukee County court order of Milwaukee police officers receiving duty disability payments pay you 1/3 of the retroactive pay owed them. A fundamental component of practicing law is knowing who your client is. The men and women of the Milwaukee Police Association were not your clients, and your suit would have them extorted. These men and women were critically injured protecting their communities. In one case, a man was shot in the face, lost his eye and part of his brain. Now, because of your spurious claim, their payment of this money has been delayed. You could have earned the fees that you now demand by filing a class action suit, which would have entitled all affected employees to have a voice in how the litigation ensued. This is not what you did. While you caused the city of Milwaukee to correct a major injustice, the men and women of the police association were not your clients. And you are not a representative for those heroes of the very city and state where your law office is located. As an attorney, you stand in a position of trust and authority, yet your choices are unconscionable and frankly illustrate the disdain many have for those in your profession. You act in complete disregard for the very oath that you swore to become an attorney. Quote, I will never reject from any consideration personal to myself the cause of the defenseless or oppressed or delay any person's cause for malice. So help me God. It goes on to list a couple other cases, high-profile cases like Board of Education versus Topeka, the Miranda rights case, where law firms did not try to collect a third of the damages. You are an embarrassment, the letter concludes, to the legal practitioners everywhere, and the Wisconsin Bar Association will receive our complaint. I reached out to the law firm. Again, Christopher McGillis was the guy who was in court arguing that this firm should get a third of what the damaged police officers are owed. I was told by a lady who sounded very nervous when I told her that I was with a news operation, I don't know if he's here. I said, I'll hold. Can you check? He's not here. Okay, when will he be back? I need to talk to him. He's, I think, out of town. Okay, that's fine. I'll talk to anybody else in your firm. Is there another lawyer available? Do you have somebody that deals with the media? No one's available and I need to go. So that was a response from the law firm. The Police Association is waiting to see how this plays out. But as it stands now, officers who are injured will receive a third less than the money that was ordered by the court. So we will continue to track this story and bring you details as they develop. It is 3:43 at WTMJ. Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. Big things to talk to him about. Donald Trump's told you do not have immunity for what happened on January 6th. And an immigration bill that had bipartisan backing appears dead in Washington. Major Garrett up next.
Start planning for your retirement today so you enjoy retirement tomorrow. Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 7, where Tony Drake and his Education First team discuss retirement trends, taxes, inflation, and Social Security benefits to help you achieve a more secure financial future.
Join us this week as we take a look at the federal election and the impact it may have on your retirement.
Retirement Ready with Tony Drake on WTMJ.
Well, full slate of basketball tonight. The big game is on the horizon. Boy, it sounds like a great time to get signed up at Underdog Fantasy. Just download the app or sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com, and you can play just like me. Play every day, play every night, play whenever you'd like at Underdog Fantasy. It's a pick'em game, and all you have to do is select between 2 and 5 players, select higher or lower on the stats, and if your picks hit, you could win up to 100 times your money in a single night. That's right. Pick 2 to 5 players. You could pick Giannis and Bobby Portis. You could pick Devin Booker of the Suns. They play against the Bucks tonight. If you'd like, match that with another pick of your own. You are off and running. Just select higher or lower on the player stats. Yes, it's legal in Wisconsin. Must be 18 years or older to participate. And here's the good part. You are going to receive an extra $100 from Underdog Fantasy if you use the promo code WTMJ. So there you go. They will double your first deposit up to $100. It's Underdog Fantasy. Play on your own, play with a few friends, run a little fantasy game, have a good time with your buddies, or just do it on your own. Check it out today. Underdog Fantasy, promo code WTMJ. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. Play along with me at Underdog Fantasy.
St. Vincent de Paul, Milwaukee has expanded into our new 76th and Bradley Road location, where thrifters will find hundreds of bargains on everything, from clothing to furniture, electronics, home goods, and more. Our inventory is always changing, and new deals pop up every day. We're accepting donations, too, at our convenient drive-through donation area. Help us help others. St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee is now open.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, John Mercure here. I love my dogs. Bella and Baxter, they're like the kids in the house anymore since the kids aren't there. And a lot like raising children, they didn't always listen so great. So I started working with Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training. And now the dogs are awesome. We've had a great experience, even better results. Our dogs are better behaved. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. We started with a free consultation. Took the pups in. They met Matt. Matt met the dogs. We talked through a program. And you know what? Before I ever started reading this ad, we took them there. And it worked. They made us better dog owners. They gave us the tools and techniques to just understand our dogs better, and our dogs are better behaved. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
Traffic is sponsored by the Delafield Brewhouse Restaurant and Brewery. Visit delafieldbrewhouse.com for daily specials.
Blueberry Ale is now on tap at the Delafield Brewhouse. A semi-sweet, light-bodied ale made with 100% pure fruit. Easy to drink and easy to enjoy. the Delafield Brewhouse.
CBS's Major Garrett with us right after Debbie helps get you home. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon, John. Southbound 94 in Kenosha County. We got right about at Highway 50. The left lane is blocked. They're calling it an incident. I'm not quite sure. There's a few squads there blocking off. They've coned off that left lane, so just watch out for that. The other issue is going to be on the 60th off-ramp from 894 westbound. On the bypass there was a vehicle fire, and all that smoke and everything like that's making everybody slow down. Of course, you cannot get off at at 60th Street, so things are backed up all the way back into the Mitchell interchange. And then on the eastbound side, everybody's kind of slowing down to that point as well, starting back at Howard Avenue down through the Hale all the way to that fire scene. So just be extra careful if you're heading through those areas. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 32 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy and mild, a high of 48. On Thursday, cloudy, breezy, mild, a high of 54. On Friday, cloudy, breezy, mild, slight chance for rain, a high of 53. On Saturday, a little bit cooler, but still well above average, a high of 42 degrees. Right now, in Milwaukee, it's sunny and 42 degrees. A couple of things we've been waiting to talk to CBS Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett about. He is the guy in charge of the Takeout podcast, heard weekends here on WTMJ. And he's also got an incredible podcast out right now, Agent of Betrayal. You need to check this thing out everywhere you listen to your podcast. Major, good afternoon. Thank you for being with us.
Good afternoon, John. How are you?
Excellent. A couple things we wanted to talk to you about. Let's start with the appellate court ruling on Donald Trump not having immunity. It appears that they have said basically that former President Donald Trump is a former president, but also an ordinary citizen when it comes to what you can and cannot do. Is that their belief?
Yes, let me read from page 40. Unanimous three-judge panel. We cannot accept former President Trump's claim that a president has unbounded authority to commit crimes that would neutralize the most fundamental check on executive power, the recognition and implementation of election results. Nor can we sanction his apparent contention that the executive has carte blanche to violate the rights of individual citizens to vote and have their votes counted. That's pretty clear. That's pretty clear. And what I read the entire 57-page opinion, John, and what strikes me is it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not anyone in the listening audience's fault that former President Trump's legal arguments contradict themselves and have no basis in any understood application of the Constitution or the powers of the presidency. It's not my fault, your fault, or the audience's fault. And yet the courts have to go through this process elaborately to explain all of these inherent contradictions that are in the president's manic desire, first to delay proceedings and assert things that no previous occupant of the presidency has ever asserted. There's only one reason these things have to be dealt with, and it's him. And you read the opinion, it couldn't be more clear. It could not be more systematically linked to what the Constitution says, what the Constitutional Convention said about its meaning, what the Federalist Papers said about its application, or anything decided by any judiciary since then about presidential powers has decided. It's as clear-cut as can be.
Yeah, Major, that was a key part of Trump's legal strategy here, was to delay the proceedings until after the election. Is that all up in the air now or out the window?
Well, it's not out the window, but as we discussed on our CBS News special report this morning about this topic, which I anchored, our Supreme Court reporter, Jan Crawford, said, look, this is so clear-cut and voluminous that she said there's a high probability that the Supreme Court does not grant cert, meaning does not take this on board, just says, you know what, the district court got it right, the appellate court got it right. We don't have to say any more on this question of absolute immunity. And then that would return the case back to the federal district court here, which is the trial court, so a trial date can be set. And so all of these allegations can be tested in a court of law. And as this opinion states clearly, and as everyone knows, the government has to prove them beyond a reasonable doubt. All the former president's defense strategies will be given full airing there. He will have all due process rights. But to your point, Greg, what he wants to do is to delay that as long as possible. Push, 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 get this ever closer to the election to further dramatize in his mind and possibly in the mind of his supporters that he is somehow a victim, not the perpetrator or the alleged perpetrator in this matter.
Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. Major, another major story happening today is that it appears that the immigration bill is dead in the Senate. We knew that it was dead in the House, but it's dead in the Senate, and some of the guys that helped negotiate it are now saying that they won't vote to move it forward. What is going on here?
This is the power of being afraid of primary opponents in politics. And it's a very, very real fear that Republicans have. And criticism from former President Trump and the threat of being primaried and the threat of having your political stature jeopardized by that primary process is so real, so profound, that even those who spent weeks, if not months, trying to negotiate this now say, "Oh, wait a minute, I can't support this." And it didn't even stand up with for 24 hours, with lots of Republicans at least giving it sort of nominal support, at least in the negotiation process. And it's not for lack of tough measures at the border. This would be by far, the toughest immigration bill ever passed by any Congress. Has almost nothing for Democrats in it. Has almost everything for Republicans. Every other bid I've seen previously, John, to amend or change immigration law has been, quote unquote, comprehensive. What did that mean? Something for the right and something for the left. This is not comprehensive. This is Republican immigration reform, and still they don't like it. And the threat of that primary process has already jeopardized it to the point where it is almost completely dead.
Well, so much for compromise, I guess. So where does it go from here? Because it does appear as if there's going to still be a vote tomorrow.
Well, I mean, look, the vote has to happen, and you go through that process to get everyone on the record, okay? And I know, and I've covered this, I've covered legislative politics before. Even when things look dead, they can sometimes miraculously spring back to life. Because the president and the White House are not giving up on aid to Ukraine. They're not giving up on aid to Israel. And over time, maybe some Republicans will look at this and say, wait a minute, this is actually better than we're going to get. Then say, oh, wait, if Trump gets elected, do you think the 60-vote majority thing to get over the filibuster ends? No. Do you think Democrats are going to cut the bargain then that they're cutting now? No. Maybe some Republicans will say, wait a minute, maybe we can reconsider. That's doubtful. That is extremely low on the probability scale. But you go through the process tomorrow to see where everyone is. Everyone has a vote. They can't move it forward. Maybe they amend the bill. Maybe they change things here and there, bring it back up. I would just say keep your eye on this space, because so many of the things that are in this bill are of great importance to the White House, of importance to certain Senate Republicans, and maybe if they go back and rearrange a couple more things on immigration, maybe they can spring it back to life. But more work clearly needs to be done.
Hey, Major, we've only got 1 minute. I find myself thinking about a book I recently read about Ronald Reagan and wondering if Reagan were in office today, would he have to make a decision whether or not he wanted to talk to Tip O'Neill and work with him or get reelected? He couldn't do both.
No, he couldn't. And to underscore the point you're driving at even more, he wouldn't be nominated. Ronald Reagan would not be nominated by the current Republican Party. That's just a fact. And I've talked to people who worked for President Reagan in his White House who acknowledge that readily. He would be too much of a compromiser. He'd be too soft. He would be too wishy-washy. And certainly that would be the frame of reference applied to him in terms of immigration. He signed immigration reform that granted amnesty to 3 million undocumented immigrants in our country. He would have been called a globalist. He would have been called a tool of financiers and the like. Ronald Reagan not only would be impaired politically from calling up Tip O'Neill and working out a grand compromise on Social Security as he did or other matters, he wouldn't have even been nominated.
Major Garrett is the best in the business. His book is The Big Truth. Major, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you next week.
Yep, it is 3:56. at WTMJ.
Hey, Greg Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Got some good news for you. The auto show sale is back, and it is on now. That means perfect timing to connect with Holiday to explore all that's new in automotive. Get in on those enticing auto show sale offers, get more for your trade, and navigate today's car market with some confidence. They got a great selection of Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, all available to you. New models or the incredible value and peace of mind included in a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle. Whatever your interest, Team Holiday's relaxed attitude and passion for helping others and delighting guests makes fans of drivers from all over the place. I'm one of those loyal fans and a repeat customer. Going to be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer on your side, and the Badger State's top-ranked GM-certified pre-owned dealer. Accolades are per 2023 Buick and GMC Zone sales records. Find yours and discover the difference during the auto show sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Johnson controls, addresses, and fixes its cyber operations after a ransomware attack last fall, but the company continues incurring costs. So far, the impact is $57 million on earnings, with more expenses this year. Kohler Company anticipates opening a $300 million plant south of Phoenix by mid-2024. The plant makes bath and shower fixtures and employs over 400 people. A major promotion for one of the area's best-known pediatricians, Dr. David Margolis, named Chair of Pediatrics at the Medical College of Wisconsin and Pediatrician-in-Chief at Children's Wisconsin. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
Nothing says I love you like romantic, timeless jewelry. Even better when you can save an extra 20%. Right now at Diamonds Direct, all fashion favorite jewelry is 20% off. That's earrings, bracelets, pendants, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Get 20% off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices. Special financing too. Get her something she can enjoy and appreciate for years to come. A fashion favorite from Diamonds Direct. Shop in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. Asphalt or concrete, Johnson & Sons is designing commercial projects for 2024 right now. Booking the work in winter gives you full confidence in the design, and you get all the permits pulled so you're set to go first in line this spring. Might not need a full rebuild. Talk with a project manager about a maintenance plan to extend the life of your parking lot or drive, and get an honest assessment on how much longer it's going to last. Plenty of Johnsons over there, no subcontractors. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
Off to Lewis, fires up the three, and he hits it. How about that finish for the Bucks?
The Bucks are in Phoenix against the Suns, with coverage starting tonight at 8:30 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, 2 car thefts involving children this week.
I'm Greg Matzik. An immigration bill crumbles before a vote.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. They still have the 60th Street off-ramp from 894 westbound closed because of an earlier vehicle fire. That's affecting your ride pretty much all the way back onto 94 northbound, almost to the airport spur. So just be careful with that. Southbound 894 backing up from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange out past Forest Home. Westbound 94 slow right out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 32. Tomorrow, mild, a high of 48. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a carjacking with a 15-month-old in the backseat of the vehicle in Milwaukee yesterday afternoon. Milwaukee police say a 24-year-old driver was near Hamilton and Marshall when she was approached by suspects holding a gun. The suspects told the woman to get out of the car and take the 15-month-old baby from the back seat. The suspects then got in the vehicle and drove off. It was later recovered near 1st Street and Our Avenue. No injuries were reported. Police are still investigating and looking for the suspects.
A family reunited after their car was stolen at a Quick Trip on Sunday with 2 young girls in the back seat.
Mom, I need you. We lost Dad.
8-year-old Charlie Jorgensen trying to reach her mother after their car was abandoned at Batteries Plus on 27th Street by the thief.
It took 2 seconds for me to respond to somebody and them to sneak in.
Father Adam Jorgensen tells TMJ4 News somebody asked him for directions as a distraction to allow another person to jump in his car, even though he was just a few feet away from the vehicle.
They are over by Batteries Plus, and then an officer's going to come over and meet you at the Quick Trip, okay? All right.
Police able to quickly reunite the family, safe and sound. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
A compromise bill that combines Ukraine and Israel funding with new immigration restrictions appears to be dead. ABC News reporting a bipartisan group of senators announced a breakthrough in talks Sunday night, but it quickly faced opposition from former President Trump and Republicans in the House. A group of Republican senators is now also opposing the bill. They say it does not go far enough to address the crisis at the southern border. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer still plans to hold the first vote on the bill tomorrow.
Well, Walworth County authorities aren't sharing additional information about the person they arrested in connection to the double murder in downtown Elkhorn late last week. Emerson and Gina Weingart were shot and killed at the Sports Page bar where Gina Weingart worked. Police say they're holding someone on unrelated charges, but looking into the person's possible connection to the murders.
The Milwaukee Common Council has approved a resolution aimed at urging changes to emergency response policies following a woman's death at a city bus stop in January.
Alderman Bob Bauman expressed concern that ending the city's contract with Bell and Curtis Ambulance would halt EMS service completely.
I don't know that starting this afternoon there won't be any ambulance running in the city of Milwaukee.
But Alderman Lamont Westmoreland challenged those concerns.
Bell and Curtis operate under their current contract until there is an agreement on their new contract.
The resolution also urges Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky to undertake a review process with the city's private ambulance service providers. So far, Lipsky has declined comment on the legislation. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, another major step for a proposed Hard Rock Casino in Kenosha. An intergovernmental agreement between the Menominee Indian Tribe of Wisconsin and Kenosha County received signatures in Madison today. Kenosha Mayor John Antaramian.
It was fair to the city of Kenosha, to the county of Kenosha, to the Menominee Tribe. Any agreement that is made must be where all partners feel that they walked away winning.
The proposal now needs the approval of the federal government and Governor Tony Evers.
The Bucks' 5-game Western Conference road trip wraps up tonight in Phoenix against the Suns. Coverage begins at 8:30 on WTMJ. The NBA's trade deadline is 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon. And the Brewers are signing free agent pitcher Jacob Junis to a 1-year, $7 million contract.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 4:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Replacement windows and doors. Where do you start? Siding Unlimited is the best installation contractor in Wisconsin and even in the whole USA. So start there. Siding Unlimited is local, family-owned, honest and reliable, knowledgeable and skilled. Siding Unlimited is trustworthy. Siding Unlimited's office wall is too small to hold all the awards they've earned from window and door manufacturers. And they install lots of different products, too. Siding Unlimited's quality American craftsmen have also won customer praise thanks to their skill, attention to detail, and just plain friendliness. See for yourself. You want windows, but think siding. Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best, America's best. SidingUnlimited.com.
At my company, we're always looking for people who are passionate and ready to work, but it's not always easy. It's time to broaden our horizons. In Wisconsin, about 600,000 people with disabilities are ready and able to work. People that just need you to believe in them and say yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep. Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, "no appraisal required." When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, "no appraisal required," and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Good afternoon. The team is here. Greg Matzik is in the studio. Debbie Lazaga has got your roads all afternoon. Jessica and Julian and the team are in the newsroom, and Sam is producing the show this afternoon. So glad that you're with us. So I spent the weekend up in Eagle River, and I was stunned at the lack of snow. And then I was saddened when I talked to people. I mean, they are devastated. It's not just a footnote like, wow, it would be nice to be able to get on the snowmobile. Businesses are shutting down. People are out of work. Daycares are in trouble because people are out of work and don't need to take their kids anywhere.
That's the amazing thing. You told me about that. You think about the domino effect, right? Seasonal workers not really being called into work. They no longer need someone to watch their children. All of a sudden, the daycares are hurting too. That is an unbelievable ripple effect.
It's nuts. John Moores is a guy I met up there. He's the owner of Boat Sport Marina and Power Sports, one of the biggest snowmobile dealers in the area. I talked to him, wanted him to paint the picture of just how difficult this winter has been. Tell me about the winter.
So this winter has been the worst winter in memory for businesses up here in the Northwoods. For us, we're a rental snowmobile dealer as well as a full-line Arctic Cat dealer. So this year we've been unable to rent our snowmobiles at all, which has never happened. Our service department and things like that, because people aren't out riding, they're not bringing their sleds in for repair. So everything down for our business has been decreased substantially. Due to that, we've had to lay off some of our employees, which is really tough. For me personally, I'm a new business owner. I just purchased the business here 2 years ago, and I view all my employees as friends and family, so it's very difficult to lay them off. We're a smaller mom and pop place where we know all our employees, we know their families, and it's difficult to lay them off. They're just not a number on a spreadsheet for me.
We know bars and restaurants and places like yours have all been impacted. You were telling me a story about other people's lives being impacted. How has this played out for other people in the community?
Yeah, so the lack of snow up here has hurt other businesses that a lot of people don't think about. My niece works at a daycare center here in Eagle River, and they've had to reduce hours there because people aren't working, so they're not bringing their kids to the daycare. And that's just one example of the trickle down when we don't have tourism, when we don't have people up here that really affect the whole business.
Are there businesses that might not make it because of how tough these couple months will be?
I think a lot of businesses are really going to struggle. We're fortunate in the fact that we're primarily a marina, so we're able to get through this, and come spring we'll be ready to start renting boats again and selling new boats and servicing people. But I am really concerned about a lot of restaurants and things like that where they're going to struggle long term. I think they'll get through this winter, but we'll need a really great summer and a great fall and an even better next winter to kind of make up for this, because a winter like this where revenue isn't down 10% or 20%, for us and our snowmobile rentals, it's down 100%. We have over $400,000 of snowmobiles that have never went out on rent this year. They're all brand new this year. They've not gone out on rent. Our insurance, they make us pay the insurance premium on those snowmobiles back in December 1st. So they're fully insured now, and they've never went out on rent, which is a little disheartening. And it's definitely going to be a challenge for a lot of businesses up here.
Would you like to see the governor or somebody step in and do something? I mean, this is tourism.
Yeah, for me personally, I think it's something where it's just not affecting the Northwoods, it's affecting the whole state. If there's any excess funds left over from COVID, it would be nice to see them utilize some of those funds. If not, even offering lines of credit. I'm not personally in favor of the government being super involved in business, but if they said, hey, we have these funds that we're able to offer ultra low-cost loans to businesses to keep you going through the winter and make it where it's reasonable terms to pay it back. For businesses that are struggling, if they have to tap lines of credit, those lines now with current interest rates are very high.
That is John Moores, the owner of Boat Sport Marina in Eagle River. It's hard to explain the devastation. It's hard to understand it. I saw the pictures, but when you talk to people up there and they need some help, the governor or somebody needs to consider a state of emergency, even if it's not handing out cash, low-interest loans or grants. There's leftover COVID money that has still not been spent. Man, they need our help up there. It is 4:14 at WTMJ. Do you still have a landline? Have you thought about getting rid of it? Have you gotten rid of it recently? If you still have a landline, why do you still have it? This question is very simple, and there's no judgment here. Why do you still have the landline? 855-616-1620. Tell me why you still have a landline, if you do. And if you got rid of it recently, why you finally did. 855-616-1620. Interesting developments with the major phone companies, but I want to hear from you. Do you still have a landline, and why? That discussion up next.
WTMJ Now with Steve Scafidi.
We are so absurd with our politics now that there's an opportunity, as we speak, to at least try to mediate or fix our issues at the border.
Get the latest news. Hear the opinions.
We don't buy into the nonsense that Paul Ryan is a rhino, which is the most overused term, misused term, in the history of political terms.
All in Wisconsin.
Little fear is a good thing. Fear punishment for bad behavior.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on WTMJ.
John Mercure here for Town Bank. I love Town Bank. They've got the best banking solutions and the best customer service. It is Town Bank 1,000%. I was at a different bank in town, and they didn't have what I needed. They weren't taking care of me. It was a hassle every single time. I switched over to Town Bank. I have never been happier. They have just the best people. In my bank, it's Dan and Matt and Big Tony, but there's a Dan, Matt, Big Tony in every single Town Bank location. I've got total access checking, free ATMs nationwide. When I visit the girls across the country, it's so nice because those free ATMs come in handy. And they've got the best customer service. I know what you're thinking. I know it. You are thinking, well, I don't really go into the bank. What do I need customer service for? I had to transfer some money, and I had an issue with the app. I needed customer service. Online customer service at Town Bank is the most robust in the industry. At Town Bank, they just view banking differently, and they want you to view it that way as well. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results. Start earning more with Town Bank, part of the Wintrust family of community banks. Member FDIC.
Progressive presents an ad from Mom.
Hello? Is it on? Oh, okay. Bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive and get protection round the clock. Round the clock? Does this generation even understand what round the clock means? But I'm just saying, because don't come to me when they ask to do this over, because the kids won't get it.
Get round-the-clock protection when you bundle and save with Progressive. It's easier than getting your mom to make this radio ad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
KFC's new Smashed Potato Bowl is out here looking like an absolute snack. For just $3.49, you get crispy secret recipe fries topped with creamy mashed potatoes, cheese sauce, bacon crumbles, and even more melty cheese. If you're looking to smash your hunger, grab KFC's new Smashed Potato Bowl for just $3.49. For a little extra, add nuggets to the mix. It's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lozga. Then, do you have a landline? 855-616-1620. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Westbound 894. Remember we had that 60th Street off-ramp with that vehicle fire? They finally cleared that up. So that's been reopened, but the delays are still there, so it's stretching back through the Mitchell interchange. So heads up with that. Westbound 94, your typical delays right out of the Marquette all the way through the Stadium interchange. Actually, it goes a little bit further. It goes out past Hawley Road. And along the eastbound side, we've got backups from 68th Street all the way to about 27th. Southbound 41, just a little bit backed up right from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive, almost to Burleigh. And don't forget, you could be our eyes on the roads. You could report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 32 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy, mild, a high of 48. Thursday, chance for rain, a high of 54. Friday, breezy, mild, a high of 53. And on Saturday, breezy, still above average, a high of 42 degrees. Right now, it's cloudy and 40 degrees.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number.
So AT&T has applied for a waiver that would allow it to stop servicing traditional landlines in California. AT&T and Verizon say they want to be fully operational on new infrastructure in the next few years. They want to go to fiber optics and Ethernet. They want to get away from the old copper wire-based telephone system lines. They say that landlines are becoming too expensive to service, less people use them, and they are considering getting rid of them.
Upgraded technology, not likely to mesh with what you currently have if you have a landline.
Conversions will cost, by the way, consumers money if they end up doing this, and they will pass this on. They're already saying. But they say less and less people are using landlines. They say that by 2030, which isn't that far away really, only 5% of landlines will remain. It's already down in numbers, and what we have now will dwindle by 95%, they believe. Do you have a landline? I do not have a landline. We had a landline until about 5 years ago and kept it only because of our security system. They upgraded their technology, and in my neighborhood, the technology got upgraded, so we got rid of the landline. And I wanted to hold on to it just because I felt like, I've always had it. It came with the house. But then I got rid of it, and I was like, what the hell was I hold on to that thing for so long for?
Nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
The last time I had it was in an apartment I lived in like 2001 and 2, and the only reason we had it is because you press the number 3 to allow people to buzz into your apartment. Like, we didn't use it. Like, it just sort of existed with the apartment, but I haven't had one in 20 years, over 20 years.
We don't have telephones on our desks here at work.
We don't. You're right.
And if I want to leave a message for somebody, I give them my cell phone number. Just, I guess, how it is. Pat is in Menominee Falls. Pat, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Good afternoon, John.
Hey, Pat, are you calling from a landline?
I am not calling from a landline right now.
But you have
It would
one.
be tough in the car. I do have one. We bought the house from my in-laws when they went into assisted living, and the landline came with the house, and it's the number that's been associated with the house for, since the 60s. And that is the phone number that all of the relatives have. So that's the only reason I keep it.
But you could call them from the landline and instead give them your cell phone number, probably.
I probably could, but there's so many of them out there that I have no idea even how to contact all of them, but they've got my number.
Hey, Pat, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it.
It's good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. Colleen is in Racine. Colleen, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ. Do you have a landline?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Tell us why.
Well, I'm with AT&T, so I have it bundled with my TV and my computer and my phone. So I'm afraid that if I drop the phone, I'm going to have to end up paying more.
Now, it's interesting you say this because when you heard me say I had it because of my security system, I went to get rid of the landline, and I called AT&T, and AT&T said, we will give it to you for $2 a month because they wanted to hold on to it because there was some federal thing going on where it was in their benefit to have landlines. I think they got some funding, and now they're getting rid of landlines, but I went through that. You're right. You probably get it almost for free.
Yeah. And like the other gentleman had said, there are my siblings always call on my cell phone. However, all my other friends call me on my landline yet. And I'm just too cotton-picking lazy to call everybody and say, I got rid of my landline, call me on my cell phone.
Hey, thank you very much for the phone call, Colleen. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're essentially going to have at some point to make a decision. Like pay for the upgraded technology and costs associated, or just punt on the idea altogether. But there will always be a need for a landline somewhere, some way, right? You think about small businesses, you think about anybody who still runs a fax machine, and then you might be rolling your eyes, but think about pharmacies, think about hospitals. Fax machines are still sort of operational.
Yeah.
Those are still things.
They are.
And they may be phased out too. But there will always be a need, right? You call the restaurant, you want to get a reservation or something like that.
Yep.
There's still a house phone, right?
Yeah.
That's more practical application to me than at my house.
So my grandpa's 97. He would have a hard time navigating a cell phone because it's small. The buttons are smaller. I know you can get the big cell phone, whatever it's called, but he has a landline, and I get that. A couple of texts. I'm not explaining this very well, but it won't be the same technology as your cell phone. So you will have options besides just your cell phone if they get rid of landlines. From the 920, we have a landline because the cell reception can be iffy at our house. We live in rural Manitowoc County. In the 920, Spectrum tells me to drop my landline would cost more than for internet because I wouldn't have the bundle. So they're like forcing me to keep it. From the 608, I got rid of the landline. Too expensive when you also have internet and cell phone expenses. From the 262, for years I've had a digital landline that uses my home internet and costs me only $5 a month. Let's go to Kim in Oak Creek. Kim, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hi there.
Hi. Do you have a landline?
I have a landline, and I love my landline.
That sounds romantic.
Sounds like you're on it right now. You have a very clear connection.
Yes. Well, my husband's relatives still call us on the landline. I agreed with them that we also get it very inexpensively bundled with other services. But the primary reason is living in a two-story home. I'm not a slave, nor is my husband, to that cell phone. And when we're home in the evenings and on weekends, people know, relatives know, friends know, call the landline. Because I'm not walking from floor to floor, from room to room with my cell phone. My cell phone could be sitting on one charger in one room the whole weekend. So it's just, I'm not going to carry my phone every time I make a move in my home.
What do you pay a month for your phone? Do you know your landline?
It is bundled as well with our internet and we still have Spectrum cable, so it's minuscule. I want to say I can't even recall what it is, but it's under $20.
Hey, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it. By the way, your connection sounds great.
And they know the game, right? I mean, the providers know the game.
Yep.
They know this is sort of a dying industry. It's going the way of the dodo bird. They're doing anything they can to hang on to customers.
But that's going to change to the point of the story we just read.
It absolutely will.
And it's going to cost people to convert eventually. It is 4:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything finished in the green. It was kind of a weird, bumpy day. The S&P ended up just 11 points. The Dow was up 141. The NASDAQ climbed 11 points as well. Get ready for 2024 with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com. John Mercure here for the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant and the fantastic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, owned by the same brothers. I'm going to tell you about the Fox and Hounds because Valentine's Day is almost here, and you want to take your sweetheart, someone really special. How about the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club for a free dinner? Check this out. On Valentine's Day, enjoy an 8-ounce tenderloin with a combination of scallops, shrimp, and lobster and a garlic herb butter sauce for $65.99, and that's for 2 dinners. All other dinners are buy one, get one free, including the steak and lobster. How about a delicious old-fashioned, a Manhattan? They've got 20 bourbons, 100 wines, ice-cold beers on tap, and you'll love the 7 wood-burning fireplaces. The Fox and Hounds, winner of the Top Choice Award for most romantic restaurant. They absolutely are a special place. Off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it. Holy Hill Shrine is right there near the Fox and Hounds. Reserve now for your Valentine's Day tenderloin and seafood dinner for 2 for $65.99. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Stop in at Fleet Farm for one of the biggest selections of Milwaukee tools around. Milwaukee's raised the bar on heavy-duty performance, and we've got over 1,100 Milwaukee tools and accessories to help you crush that to-do list. Like the M18 cordless 2-tool combo kit. 400 pounds of torque packed into just 4 pounds of compact drill driver plus 2 batteries. Shop all the top brands we carry to help you power through everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Hey, sign up and play along with me at Underdog Fantasy. Get signed up. You got a great slate of basketball tonight. You got the big game this weekend. There you go. Download the app and get started at Underdog Fantasy. You can also register and sign up online at UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up, make sure to use the promo code WTMJ. It's a pick'em game. It's a lot of fun. All you have to do is select between 2 and 5 players, higher or lower on their stats. If your picks hit, you win money. It's that simple. And yes, it's legal in Wisconsin. Must be 18 years or older to participate. So for tonight, for example, I'm looking at Giannis, higher or lower than 30 points. Okay, I'll make a selection there. Other players on the roster or their opponent roster. The Phoenix Suns, you can pick, mix and match sports, do whatever you please at Underdog Fantasy. And if you sign up, use the promo code WTMJ. Underdog Fantasy will double your first deposit up to $100. Play along, play with friends, set up little fantasy side games on your own, but just get involved here at Underdog Fantasy. Play around for yourself. It's fast, easy, and it's a lot of fun. Promo code WTMJ at Underdog Fantasy.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, 2 car thefts with children in the back seat.
I'm Debbie Laziga, westbound 894 at Loomis. We've got an accident now. It's off on the left shoulder, so watch out for that. Delays continue right out of the Mitchell interchange. We've got westbound 94 slowing down from around 2nd Street through the Marquette all the way to about Hawley Road. The eastbound side's backing up from 84th Street all the way to 27th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Tonight we have mostly cloudy skies. Could see some fog early in the evening on the lakeside, a low of 36. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy, a high of 48. At 4:31, it's 38 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a carjacking with a 15-month-old in the back seat of the vehicle in Milwaukee on Monday afternoon. Milwaukee police say a 24-year-old driver was near Hamilton and Marshall Street when she was approached by suspects holding a gun. The suspects told the woman to get out of the car and take the 15-month-old baby from the back seat. The suspects then got in the vehicle and drove off. It was later recovered near 1st Street and Auer Avenue. No injuries reported. Police are still investigating and looking for the suspects. A brazen car theft with the driver only steps away from his vehicle on Sunday.
Adam Jorgensen tells TMJ4 News he had stepped out of his car after taking it through the Quick Trip car wash at 27th and College. That's when another person jumped in his SUV and took off, with his daughters, 2-year-old Anna and 8-year-old Charlie, in the back.
Then he told me to get out of his car. I was like, should I run and be a scaredy cat, or should I save my sister too?
Charlie stayed, and the driver ditched the car at Batteries Plus a mile down the road, where father and daughters were reunited shortly.
I ran as fast as I could out of the back of that cop car to hug them.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Common Council urging change to emergency response policies after the death of a woman at a city bus stop in January.
By a unanimous vote amongst the council members present, the body adopting a resolution spearheaded by Alderman Lamont Westmoreland.
I think this is a good opportunity for us to ensure they're improving their policy.
The resolution calls for responders to exit their vehicles and search for those requiring assistance at or beyond where responders were dispatched. Monday, Curtis Ambulance President James Baker said he would meet with fire officials Wednesday to discuss various policy and protocol changes. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A Milwaukee resident testing positive for Mpox. The City of Milwaukee Health Department says the individual tested positive last Friday, the first identified case of Mpox in Milwaukee since June of 2023. Mpox often shows up as a painful rash or sores that resemble pimples or blisters. It's contracted through close personal contact with someone who has symptoms. The health department is offering a free drive-through Mpox vaccination clinic this Saturday at the Northwest Health Center in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Parks Foundation hoping to increase access to water and swimming through its new Aquatics Ambassadors program. Foundation Executive Director Rebecca Stoner tells TMJ4 News they're working to counteract decades of inequity around swimming.
A lot of communities of color have been systemically disenfranchised from swimming and pools. When you think about pool segregation, even a few decades ago, it hasn't always been a welcoming space for communities of color.
The Aquatics Ambassadors program also helping to recruit lifeguards, something the park system has struggled with in recent years. Along with Brewers personnel changes, parking changes are coming to American Family Field ahead of spring training.
In addition to Brewers equipment being loaded Monday to send to Phoenix, Arizona for spring training, Senior VP of Communications Tyler Barnes says there won't be any more parking attendants for home games. He says the new method will be easy to use.
The parking attendants are being redeployed. They will be throughout the parking lots helping people understand the new system. There is no money exchange when you're here at the ballpark, but you do need to make sure you've either paid in advance and activated your session by entering your license plate, or you scan the QR code when you get here and you pay online.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
The Bucks' 5-game Western Conference road trip wraps up tonight in Phoenix against the Suns. Coverage begins at 8:30 right here on WTMJ. The NBA's trade deadline is 2 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. The Brewers are signing free agent pitcher Jacob Junis to a 1-year, $7 million contract. I'm Jessica Gatso, Sighting Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 4:35.
3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less. For full service with Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com. The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. When I grab a hot dog, I make sure it's a Vienna beef hot dog, the official hot dog of the Milwaukee Brewers and the best hot dog in the business. It's the biggest week in football. Make sure you stock up at your local grocer with Vienna beef hot dogs. Manufactured since 1893, they are the real deal. Available at select grocers and hot dog stands in the Milwaukee area. It's football week. It's Vienna beef week. It's Vienna beef hot dogs, the only thing you need at your tailgate. John Mercure, Vienna beef. It's my hot dog.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix-It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
An historic day in Madison today. Leaders of the Menominee Indian Tribe of Wisconsin joining with the top elected officials from Kenosha County and the city of Kenosha to sign an intergovernmental agreement between the tribe and both the city and the county for a proposed casino, a Hard Rock Hotel and Casino there in Kenosha. Joining us on the WTMJ hotline is Joey Awanahope. He is the chairman of the Menominee Kenosha Gaming Authority and a member of the tribal legislature. Joey, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for having me on. How you guys doing on this beautiful afternoon?
Excellent. So this is a big step, but there are still other steps. Let's talk briefly about why this agreement is such a big deal that was signed today.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Well, today was the official finalizing of the intergovernmental agreements between my tribe, the Menominee, and the Kenosha County and the city of Kenosha. You know, this is a great sign of the progress that we are making as we continue to move forward with this project for the Kenosha area. You know, the proposed Hard Rock Casino and Destination Center. So this is one of a couple of steps, right, that we still need to take yet. And we're very honored to have partners, you know, with the city of Kenosha, with Kenosha County Executive Kirkman, and Mayor Antaramian, you know, along with the support that we've received from alderpersons, county supervisors, and of course, you know, we want to say thank you to all our professional labor people that have been supporting us every step of the way, you know, and to the bipartisan support that we've been receiving here in Madison. And so now what we'll do is we will gather up these documents that we have, and we will put them in full submission to the BIA, you know, where the BIA will do its diligence. They will look over the application to take the land in the trust, and we are staying very optimistic and very hopeful that we will hear back from the BIA potentially as early as late fall into early winter, hoping that BIA gives us a positive nod. The process will then move on to the governor of our great state, and we are hoping for a positive affirmation from him as well.
So if those two steps go as expected, as you believe they could or should you imagine a date where a shovel is put in the ground and construction begins?
Yeah, well, if we look at timelines, if you're just asking me personally as just a person on the ground working, my dream, if you're asking me to dream big and hope for a date here, I would love to see some kind of affirmation from BIA in 6 months. We are turning the application over to Governor Evers by late fall, early winter of this year, 2024. Governor Evers acts on it within 6 months' time. By the spring of 2025, we are ready to hit the ground running, and we have shovels in the ground. And from that point, it's a 18 to 24-month process. But being more realistic about it, we're probably looking somewhere in the summer of 2027, spring of 2027, potentially, to have the facility up and running.
The Menominee's Joey Owano-Hope is with us. Has the governor indicated whether he will sign this, whether he'll go along with this?
Well, you know what? That's a really good question, and thank you for answering that. And to be totally honest with you guys there, only the governor can answer that question. But I can say the governor has told the media as of last week, recently, he is aware of our efforts in Kenosha. And I can honestly say the governor has made various trips up to the reservation as governor and even during his time as superintendent of public instruction. So he knows firsthand the personal struggles we have on the Menominee Reservation. He's witnessed some of the poverty that our people live with. He's witnessed our poor housing conditions, and he knows of the ongoing need for our elders and our children in our community. He is also aware that we rank number 72 in health outcomes for the state. So Governor, I'm sure he's going to take all of this into consideration, but, just being honest, only the governor can answer that question, my friend.
Joey, what do you say to those who say with casinos going into northern Illinois, others planned for south central Wisconsin, that we're nearing an oversaturation of casino properties in the state of Wisconsin?
Well, that's a really good question. Something unique that we are bringing, it's not just a gambling facility. It's an entertainment destination center. I mean, let's just be real about this, right? Not everybody goes to a casino to gamble nowadays. We have so many people that go for the choice of restaurants, from a high-end steakhouse to maybe a buffet style or some kind of iconic, like a yo-yo noodle of some sort. Some people go there for the bar entertainment. Like our establishment will have local performers in the Hard Rock Cafe, or a much bigger performer in the Hard Rock Live venue. Some people go there just to get away for the weekend, spend the weekend at a pool. The wives love to go into the spa and go through that kind of wonderful treatment there. And so we're providing all of these amenities along with some shopping options that are there, the Rock Shop and potentially some other shops inside the establishment. So it's not just serving the needs of the gamblers anymore. That's a thing of the past. Now you need to have something fresh. You need to have something new. You need to have something that's going to fit the needs for your entire family, from your children all the way up to the grandpas and grandmas that travel to the entertainment destination center with you. And that's what we're bringing. We're not just bringing a gambling establishment. We are bringing a family entertainment venue. So that's what is setting us apart when we speak in terms of saturation. There is nothing in southern Wisconsin like this. So we are bringing something unique, that Hard Rock brand, that class of entertainment, and that overall aura that comes with that brand and that global name.
Joey Owano-Hope, a member of the Menominee Tribal Legislature, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. Anytime, give us a holler. We'll be happy to jump on.
Did you catch this interesting tidbit? They're doing this whole thing in Madison. This is an agreement between Kenosha County, and the Menominee, and the presser, the signing, the Dog and Pony Show was in Madison. Guess they know whose approval they need next. It's 4:45 at WTMJ.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:15 for Matzik's Morning Minute during Wisconsin's Morning News. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds. Picked up by Lillard, lobs to Giannis, who thumps it down on the alley-oop. Every Monday and Friday at 8:15 during Wisconsin's Morning News.
Coaching in the arena and your jerseys hanging above you, I can turn to the players and say, guys, I swear to God, I play basketball. Just look up.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. When you experience temperatures 10 degrees below zero, more than 15 inches of snow, rain showers, sunny days in the 40s, all in a 3-week period, yeah, you know what that means. Welcome to Wisconsin. And that prepared you to be ready for anything, because here in Wisconsin, well, anything can happen with our weather. But fear not. For over 42 years, Dave Drake Camp Heating has lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. Spring, summer, fall, or winter, even when they all seem to happen at once. Whenever you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, just call Dave Drake Camp Heating. That's who we call every time. From free estimates for new equipment, routine maintenance to ensure your system is ready for anything, or simply because you have a question about your home comfort, give them a call. Easiest way to help them protect your family's comfort is the website, davedrakecamp.com.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone, Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations, brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Traffic and weather. Debbie, you start.
Okay, we've got this backup on westbound 94 coming out of the Marquette interchange pretty much all the way through to Hawley Road. So give yourself that extra time. Eastbound slowing down from 76th through the Stadium interchange as well. Westbound 894 right at Loomis, we've got an accident off on the left shoulder, and that's got things backed up to the Mitchell interchange. On the eastbound side, a little bit backed up coming out of the Hale interchange. Other than that, we've got northbound 43 slowing down a little bit right around the North Avenue curve up to about Locust, and southbound 41 heavy from Silver Spring pretty much down to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, continued mild air. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 32 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy and mild, a high of 48. Thursday, breezy, mild, a high of 54. On Friday, mild, slight chance for rain, a high of 53. And on Saturday, breezy and cooler, a high of 42 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, it's cloudy and 40 degrees. Time for the Milwaukee Health segment. Dr. John Raymond is the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, and he is with us live in the studio. Dr. Raymond, thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here, John. Thanks.
So February is American Heart Month, and we thought it'd be a really cool idea to cover some of the myths about heart disease. I guess let's start with diet. Some people, I've heard this, believe that eating eggs every day isn't healthy and will raise your cholesterol level. Is that true?
No, that's a myth, believe it or not. And I used to avoid eggs as well. So this might be a surprise to people. But for most folks, eggs are healthy and a great source of nutrition. A typical egg contains 6 grams of protein, some micronutrients, only 75 calories, and 5 grams of healthy fat. So for most people, the 200 milligrams of cholesterol in an egg actually doesn't move the needle on their cholesterol. So it's okay to eat a single egg or even 2 each day. And as always, consult with your doctor first about your specific situation.
So much you can do for heart health. We were talking about cardiovascular training last week, or just being active and getting up and moving and getting that circulation. But as it pertains to diet, Dr. Raymond, what role does fat play? Are all fats bad for your heart?
It's a partial myth that fats are bad for you. Bad fats do raise your cholesterol level and increase your cardiac risk. So there are two kinds of bad fats: trans fats, or partially hydrogenated artificial vegetable oils, or saturated fats that you get from eating red meat and animal products. And those are, they're bad for you. So these are typically found in baked goods, processed foods, and meat products. Now, good fats can actually reduce your risk of heart disease. And those would be omega-3 or omega-6 fatty acids that are mostly found in fatty fish, seeds, nuts, and plant oils that are liquid at room temperature.
So if you're looking at fat content, if you pick up a can, you look at the back, and you're looking at nutrition facts, saturated fat is usually different than total fat, but is it the saturated fat that you should sort of focus on as maybe a decision maker on if you're going to have that or not?
Yeah. So, you don't want to have partially hydrogenated or trans fats or saturated fats. So those would be what you would look out for.
All right. We hear advertisements all the time that talk about heart health. Superfoods, something that's often talked about as being able to prevent heart disease. Is that true?
Partially true. So foods like walnuts, beets, blueberries, pomegranates, and fish can reduce your risk of heart disease, but they won't completely eliminate it. So including colorful fruits and vegetables and fatty fish in your diet is a healthy idea. Also oils that are healthy, such as safflower, grapeseed, flaxseed, sunflower, poppy seed, and soybean oil are good. And some fatty fishes that are good for you would be salmon, herring, sardines, although not too much salt in the sardines, and mackerel. Those have a good fat content. You know,
Salmon I know can help with cholesterol as well. There's HDL cholesterol, there's LDL cholesterol. Could you remind our fans which one is more, it's okay if you have a little bit of this versus the other, and how you can lower, or maybe your diet can help lower your cholesterol levels?
Yeah, the diet can help you lower your overall cholesterol level, and it's the LDL cholesterol that you really want to drive down. HDL is generally good, so you want that to go up. But the most important thing is the ratio between your high-density lipoprotein, or HDL, the good cholesterol, and then the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol.
Dr. John Raymond is with us in the studio talking about myths related to heart disease. Is it true that if you have coronary artery disease, Dr. Raymond, you should take it easy?
No, it's actually not true for most people. And again, you want to consult with your doctor about your situation. But for most people with heart disease, if you have a sedentary lifestyle, that's bad. Being sedentary can decondition your heart and your blood vessels, and it can actually accelerate the progression of atherosclerosis and worsen hypertension. It can even predispose you to blood clots. So a supervised exercise regimen is really one of the most important lifestyle modifications that people with heart disease can do to protect themselves.
So how vigorous should that exercise plan be? Is it true that you need 2 or 3 hours of vigorous exercise to ensure that your heart remains healthy?
You know, that's good, but for most people it's a myth and not really achievable to do 2 to 3 hours of vigorous exercise each week. I think the most important thing that people should remember is that you have health benefits for your heart from even moderate levels of exercise. And these could include taking a walk with your dog, raking leaves, vacuuming, taking the stairs instead of going on an elevator. All those things can benefit you. So if you can do 20 to 30 minutes of moderate exercise a day, like the things I just described, even broken up into 2 or 3 segments, you're going to have very significant heart health benefits.
Dr. Raymond, many folks think taking vitamins and supplements can help lower your risk of heart disease. True or myth?
Yeah, unfortunately, right now it's a myth, and I'll say I used to take vitamin E. And what the American Heart Association says is there's currently no scientific evidence that shows any heart benefit for consuming vitamins and antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, beta-carotene, quercetin, selenium, you name it. There's a whole list of those, coenzyme Q. But if you take foods that are enriched in those antioxidant substances, you actually can reduce your risk of heart disease. And so there's something magical about eating food that contains those substances that we can't recapitulate with a pill.
I'm going to ask you about gender as well. There is a common perception that heart disease is more of a man's issue. Is that true?
It's not. That's a myth. It's really surprising, but more women die from heart disease in the U.S. than men, and it's been that way every year for the last 40 years. So women and men both have very significant cardiac risk, and for women, that risk increases when they become postmenopausal. And so a lot of the cardiac deaths in women happen after the age of 65. And the symptoms of heart disease and coronary artery disease in women are generally the same as they are in men, but they can be much more subtle. So neck, jaw, shoulder, upper back, and even belly pain can be a symptom of heart disease in women, shortness of breath, pain in one or both arms, nausea, vomiting, lightheadedness, sweating. And what seems to be different about women is that there doesn't necessarily need to be an exercise-induced component, that these symptoms that occur at rest could be warning signs that they could be having heart disease.
Great information. Dr. John Raymond is the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. Raymond, thank you so much.
Thanks, John and Greg.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ.
Are you sick and tired of those achy joints? The idea of surgery, well, maybe that's not settling in too well. Maybe a call to QC Kinetics would work for you. Hey, the state of healthcare always evolving. The old ideas like steroids and surgery, not your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative and non-surgical drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. So talking about knee pain here, back pain, shoulder pain, maybe pain from arthritis or injury. Well, don't let it keep you from doing what you want to be doing, living your best life. QC Kinetics has advanced and state-of-the-art treatments that will harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair that damaged tissue. It's revolutionary and can get you back moving again with no downtime. So make this year the year you get your mobility back and your independence. Walk and run, do the things you want to do without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful drugs. Give QC Kinetics a call. Free consultation awaits at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Construction on 270 new luxury apartments in Oconomowoc is beginning after Milwaukee developer Mandel Group bought land for the project and closed on financing. The development is called Norden Range, and the first units are expected to be available in late 2024. An artificial intelligence startup with its headquarters in Delafield plans to nearly double its staff this year after recently raising $15 million. The company, called Synthetic, leverages AI to help customers quickly identify objects within raw image data like video and satellite imagery. Rivian Automotive has gained approval to establish its first electric vehicle service center in Wisconsin. It would be in Menominee Falls and would serve as a pickup point for consumers buying Rivian cars online or out of state. The center could be up and running this year. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting colder, our prices get even hotter. And at our showroom, you'll see all the top brands of lighting and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Monte Carlo, and more. Our new in-store visual technology will allow you to find every light and fan from every major brand, including their price and description. And our prices are always the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for Dad and the kids, and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
We love the game because anything can happen. There's no sure thing.
How did that go in?
Every play,
oh my goodness!
every shot,
Are you kidding me?
every swing is a risk if you bet.
I can't believe that just happened.
There's no easy money. There's no luck. And no one wins all the time. If you bet, bet responsibly and always set a limit. Learn more at responsibleplay.org.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Parents and grandparents, have your kid's birthday party at the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh. The party rooms are free, and they'll love the massive game room and pizza with no cooking or cleanup. Book your birthday party at mineshaft.restaurant.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Off to Lillard, fires up the three, and he hits it. How about that finish for the Bucks?
The Bucks are in Phoenix against the Suns, with coverage starting tonight at 8:30 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a person of interest's identity revealed in the Elkhorn double homicide.
I'm Greg Matzik. Changes approved for emergency response services.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we do still have an accident westbound 894 right about at Loomis off on the left shoulder. So that's got things backing up out of the Mitchell interchange. On southbound 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette, with the northbound side slowing down from Fond du Lac up to about Locust. Westbound 94 slowing from 2nd Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard, with the eastbound side of 94 backing up from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 36. Tomorrow, breezy and mild, a high of 48. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we're now learning the identity of the person of interest arrested in connection to the double murder in downtown Elkhorn last week. Local criminal defense attorney Russell Jones tells TMJ4 News the person is his client, Thomas Rote Jr. Rote is maintaining his innocence and says he was not involved in the case. Rote is being held in the Walworth County Jail on a corrections hold because he has a previous criminal history. He served several years in federal prison on a long list of convictions, including arson, burglary, and forgery. Since Rote has been out on parole, police can hold him longer than the typical 72 hours.
The Milwaukee Common Council has approved a resolution aimed at urging changes to emergency response policies following a woman's death at a city bus stop in January.
Alderman Bob Bauman expressed concern that ending the city's contract with Bell and Curtis Ambulance would halt EMS service completely.
I don't know that starting this afternoon there won't be any ambulance running in the city of Milwaukee.
But Alderman Lamont Westmoreland challenged those concerns.
Bell and Curtis operate under their current contract until there is an agreement on their new contract.
The resolution also urges Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky to undertake a review process with the city's private ambulance service providers. So far, Lipsky has declined comment on the legislation. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
And breaking news this afternoon, the Milwaukee Business Journal reporting that the CEO of Briggs & Stratton is out. Joe Leotine has only been in that position for 5 months, and they are confirming to the Milwaukee Business Journal that he has exited the company. No further detail available. Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer Christina Carniglia will be the interim CEO. She served in the same capacity before Leotine was hired in August of 2023.
Well, Republicans say the Senate border deal is going nowhere, but they could revive a standalone bill to keep funding the wars in Ukraine and Israel. ABC's Andy Field.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell saying there's no point voting for the border bill if the Republican House Speaker says it won't get past his members. But
there are other parts of this supplemental that are extremely important as well. Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan.
The Republican-controlled House, however, plans to vote on an Israel-only funding bill, leaving even this Senate proposal up in the air. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
The Bucks' 5-game Western Conference road trip wraps up tonight in Phoenix against the Suns. Coverage begins at 8:30 on WTMJ. The NBA's trade deadline is 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon. And the Packers are expected to hire highly sought-after Miami Dolphins linebackers coach Anthony Campanile for the same position in Green Bay.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:05.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door?
I sure am.
This fiberglass door is really strong. We love ours. Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable, dent resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh, yeah, right, of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? What could happen next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months? I'm Gina Della from Pella. This incredible offer from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is only available until February 23rd, so hurry. We offer a wide range of window and door styles to perfectly match your home's unique design. Customize your home for 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd. Only at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
Engagement rings, wedding bands, and big anniversary diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Greg Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac with some good news. The auto show sale is on. Perfect timing to connect with Holiday to explore all that's new in automotive, get in on enticing offers, get more for your trade, and navigate today's car market confidently. Shop an impressive selection of new models from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, or check out the incredible value and peace of mind benefits included in a GM certified pre-owned vehicle. Whatever your interest, Team Holiday's welcoming, relaxed attitude and passion for helping and delighting guests makes fans of drivers from all over. And I'm one of those loyal fans, and I know from my own experience that you'll be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer and the Badger State's top-ranked GM certified pre-owned dealer on your side. Accolades are per 2023 Buick and GMC zone sales records. Find yours and discover the difference during the auto show sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own home, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty house. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct today at 414-410-2000. 414-410-2000. Super Spacer technology helps keep the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer, and makes the windows last up to 5 times longer than any other window systems. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right. Hope your Tuesday's going absolutely great. Another mild day, and we're having a great time around here. This is kind of interesting. So they still refer to baseball as America's pastime. Sure. At least baseball people do. The question in a broader survey about sports, they asked a lot of things about sports, came up. So one of the questions was, which sport do you believe is America's sport? And they interviewed thousands of people. 53% of Americans say football is America's sport. That is double the amount that say baseball. Baseball was next at 27%. So 53% say football is our sport. 27% say baseball. 8% say basketball, followed by soccer, auto racing, and hockey. So 53%, a clear plurality, say football is America's sport. I think that's no surprise. That's what the ratings indicate for sure.
I'm not confusing America's sport with America's pastime, right? Because that'll always remind me of baseball. But look what the NFL is doing, right? They've got a package on Thursday night. They take over Saturdays when college football is done. They have Sunday during the day, Sunday night. They have Monday night. They were playing on Black Friday after Thanksgiving. They had games on Christmas. Like, they just continue to stampede all over the place, right? It used to be, well, Christmas, that belongs to the NBA. And the NFL's like, why? No, we can do this too.
Yeah.
They just continue to run roughshod, and people play fantasy football. People pay attention. Casual fans are in more so than the other sports.
And it's more special because your team plays once a week.
Sure.
The Brewers are on. It's no big deal if you miss a game because there are 5 more games or 6 more games that week. Football, you watch once a week. You got to commit once a week. And I love the Brewers and I love baseball. I'm a baseball guy, but football clearly has become more popular.
Okay, so they have a stranglehold on Thursday night. They have a stranglehold on Sunday and Sunday night and Monday night as well. And holidays, nothing is off limits for the NFL. The first game of the season next year is going to be on a Friday night. Or it's going to be on a Friday. I actually don't know the exact time. And it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles playing a game in Brazil.
Okay.
So this was announced by the league yesterday. Now, already, we've known this for a couple of weeks. There's a handful of teams that are going to play home games in London and in Germany. If you play one game overseas, you're not playing another game overseas that season. That's just kind of how it works. So, you know my world of dot connecting, right? I've talked about that a lot on this program.
Yeah.
So the Philadelphia Eagles are the team that will be playing a home game in Brazil to kick off next season. It'll be on a Friday. Time still to be determined. So then I went ahead and looked at the Eagles' home opponents for the upcoming season. And I noted that they will host the Dallas Cowboys, Washington Commanders, and New York Giants, division opponents. They will also host the Browns, the Falcons, the Panthers, Jaguars, Steelers, and, of course, the Green Bay Packers.
So let me stop you a second. Are division opponents out?
Not necessarily, but I went back and looked at the 36 games that have been played in London. Only 5 have featured division opponents playing one another. And most commonly, it's Jacksonville. And Jacksonville's played like half the games in London because they can't get people to show up at their own stadium. So they think they had to pivot that direction.
So it's pretty much out.
It's uncommon. 5 out of 36 featured division opponents. So if you factor out Dallas, Washington, and New York using this logic, you're down to the Browns, Falcons, Panthers, Jaguars, Steelers, and Packers. A little further digging. The Panthers are going to play in Germany next year. They're out. The Jaguars are playing in London next year. They're out. Now you're down to the Browns, the Falcons, and you know how much I like a battle of the birds. I don't think the Falcons and Eagles are going to play each other in Brazil. I think the most logical teams that would play in Brazil to open up against the Eagles would be the Steelers and Packers. You've got the War of Pennsylvania, right, between the two teams, which I think is interesting. And then, of course, the Packers that have worldwide appeal and fans in Brazil. I know because some of them follow me on social media.
How interesting. The Packers could open the season on a Friday in Brazil, and it's not terrible because you then don't play to the next Sunday or Monday, so you'll have a little travel time built in because it's the first week of the season.
Any player or coaching staff would prefer to have this game to kick off the season, and it's also not a significant time difference. I don't know if they subscribe to daylight saving, but assuming our time system, it may be a 2-hour difference.
Yeah.
In a long flight, but a 2-hour time difference is not significant.
Not much of an adjustment.
So it'll be a little bit before we get the opponents all figured out here, and the full schedule from the NFL is usually out sometime around the draft. They've been kicking this off till May of the last couple of years. But I'm saying the Steelers and Packers have the best chances at opening up the season in Brazil against the Eagles.
Interesting stuff. Hey, the Brewers are going to roll something new out, which is pretty cool when it comes to parking. Up next, and information on when those single-game tickets go on sale. The guy, Rick Schlesinger, the president of business operations, with us live up next.
Be sure to load up on Vienna Beef hot dogs for this weekend's big football game. The official hot dog of the Milwaukee Brewers is Vienna Beef. Manufactured and produced since 1893. Available at select grocers and hot dog stands near you.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature brought to you by the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to reduce your risk. Here to talk about heart and vascular conditions and treatment options is Dr. Stefano Skena, a cardiothoracic surgeon from the nationally recognized Freighterton MCW Heart Team. Thank you so much for being with us, Doctor.
Thank you for inviting me.
What are common risk factors for heart disease?
Risk factors include a strong family history of cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, lack of exercise, poor diet, history of smoking, and or heavy alcohol consumption, and advanced age.
What are the treatment options that your team offers?
We offer any type of option from advanced or complex diagnosis to medical management, ongoing follow-up with monitoring, and most importantly for our specialty, surgical intervention.
All right, so let's get detail on that. What type of surgical interventions does your team provide?
Although traditional heart surgery still has its place, and that include the historically most common surgical procedures such as coronary artery bypass, aortic valve replacement or repair, we cover all aspects of this from standard to minimal invasive treatment and more advanced and technological options such as robotic, thoracic and cardiac surgery. Our goal remains that to offer a treatment that is tailored to the patient specific risk factors and pathology, but always aiming at the least invasive option possible. So this includes minimal invasive approach and robotic options which favor prompt recovery and return to regular daily life activities.
Dr. Stefano Scena, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Find a doctor who's right for you by visiting freighter.com/heart. Traffic and weather, Debbie Loziga. Hey there, Deb.
Hey there, John. Couple of accidents to deal with. Now we've got one on the ramp from southbound 43 to 794 eastbound, off on the left shoulder. So heads up with that. We do have backups pretty much all the way back to Locust, so be prepared for that. The other accident is still on 894 westbound at Loomis, backing things up out of the Mitchell interchange. If they haven't already cleared it, they were just about ready to, so it might already be gone. Westbound 94 still heavy all the way out through Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes out of the Zoo interchange, heading out towards the county line. On the eastbound side, backing up from about 68th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. And one other heavy spot's going to be 41 southbound between Silver Spring and Burleigh. While you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something you think we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line. It's 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 32. Tomorrow, cloudy and mild, a high of 48. On Thursday, breezy, mild, a chance for showers, a high of 54. Friday, breezy, mild, a high of 53. And on Saturday, breezy, cooler, a high of 42 degrees. It is currently 40. Rick Schlesinger is the president of business operations for the Milwaukee Brewers, and he's with us live this afternoon. Rick, thanks so much for making some time for us.
Glad to be on. Good afternoon, John.
Hey, how exciting is it that the truck got loaded today and it's heading south with all that bubble gum and all that stuff?
It's pretty nice. It's one of the signs of spring is coming, so they load the truck up, and 5 days later it shows up in Phoenix, and the guys will be reporting on the 15th, and baseball starts.
Have you ever thought about offering to drive the truck?
Yes.
No, I think that it's just, more than 2 hours of driving, and I sort of lose my cool and I lose my patience.
I bet you'd bring great snacks, though, Rick.
Yeah,
I've known you for a long time. I could see that.
I'm older. I would have to stop to go to the bathroom to watch it. The truck would never arrive on time.
7 days later. That's okay.
They'd leave in January. Hey, Rick, this is exciting that parking's going to be easier for fans at American Family Field. It's new technology. It's really groundbreaking stuff. Tell us what's going to happen beginning opening day.
Yeah, so one of the big complaints we have from fans is, the lines to get into the parking lots, and especially with shorter games, it's people want to get there before first pitch, stay for the whole game, and not have to wait to get into the lot. So basically, we're getting rid of all the cash and credit card transactions that used to hold up everybody. When people come into the lots, if they've prepaid for parking or they are going to pay while they're there, they literally just drive into the ballpark. People will tell them, park in any space you want in the lot. You just drive in. There's no transaction. When you get to your spot, if you've prepaid for parking, you just put your license plate number into your parking on your phone, and you're good to go. If you haven't prepaid for parking, you just, on your phone, you literally scan a QR code, or you go to a pay kiosk, or you go to one of our roving attendants, and you'll pay there, but you're not holding up hundreds of cars behind you. So you just pay when you get into your spot.
That's interesting. So you mentioned roving attendants. So are you going to sort of, I guess for lack of a better term, redeploy the parking attendants that we're accustomed to seeing?
Yeah, basically, instead of having cashiers, we're going to have people just helping direct people where to go and giving them instructions if they need to figure out how to pay once they're parked. But the good thing is when you come into the parking lots, you won't see that line of cars waiting while somebody, fidgets for their credit card or worse, gives out cash and you have a transaction. People will just be parking. It should be, sort of seamless where people are just getting directed, hey, there's your lot, park wherever you want. If you're a general parker, you can park wherever you want and do the transaction right there after you've parked in the stall.
This is one of the things I love about the Brewers is that they constantly communicate with their fans about what's working and what they could do better, and you guys listen, and you're implementing this in pretty quick order. On this scale, has this been done other places, Rick?
Yeah, not at a Major League ballpark of this size or this venue, but we've certainly seen it done at other entertainment destinations, and it works really, really well. And we expect, there'll be a little bit of a learning curve for our fans who are all of a sudden, used to the long lines. They'll have a little bit of a learning curve, but we encourage people to prepay for parking. It's very easy. It's less expensive to prepay for parking. And literally with, 6 digits on your phone, you put your license plate in, you're done, you go into the ballpark and have a good time.
So what if Procure parks and then forgets to do the QR code thing, never pays, and goes in to enjoy the game?
Yeah, well, then, thugs come and arrest him. No, we have, there are cameras throughout the ballpark that will, see if your license plate has not registered as paid, and you'll get a reminder on your phone. Oops, you obviously forgot. You're an honest, law-abiding citizen, but please, pay, and you'll have instructions. If somebody, completely forgets, you'll get a citation, and then you'll have to pay it. And, then there are some other measures which hopefully we never have to implement if people are chronic. But what we've seen in other places where this has worked is, the failure rate is so infinitesimal. People pay and people understand that if they don't, they'll get a notice or a citation. Nobody wants that.
Rick Schlesinger is with us. So we're creatures of habit, Rick. Will people still access the parking lots the way that they're used to doing it?
Absolutely. Everything will be the same on that front. And the goal is to not have lines and people just park. And again, the cars will be moving. It'll be a much faster experience for fans. And again, if there's a little bit of a challenge, you'll be in a spot in your parking. You won't be holding up a bunch of other cars. And again, we're going to have, dozens of people going and helping people understand how it works. And if they have questions, there's actually human beings they can talk to. We've got a QR code for people to scan. We've got kiosks where people can go and literally, old school, slip their credit card in and pay. But again, the vast majority of people now are prepaying for parking, so it's going to be so much easier for them.
So tickets, parking will all be right there through the ballpark app. And speaking of tickets, February 15th, not only the day for pitchers and catchers to report, but single game tickets also available on February 15th.
Yep, at 10 a.m., we unleash the at-bat, and everybody gets to start buying tickets. Now, we do have offers right now for people to buy tickets for theme nights and things like that. But, yeah, the single game on sale where people can buy opening day and other games officially starts on the 15th at 10 a.m.
We're earmarking August 16th. My daughter's into Harry Potter. She's on book 4 for those keeping score at home. She's 9. She loves it. But a Hogwarts-themed jersey on Harry Potter night, August 16th. I'm in.
Yeah, there's some great theme nights. We've got, Bark in the Park back. We've got Happy Days night, Star Wars night, Hispanic Heritage Day. So, there's a lot of things to have fun with, and theme nights are really popular. So we're excited to get those out right now, and sales are brisk already.
So, Rick, if people don't want to wait until the 15th and roll the dice on opening day, are there packages right now where if you buy into a certain package or options, you can also get opening day?
Yeah, right now, 10-game packs can get you opening day, 20-game. Somebody wants a full season, obviously, opening day is included. So, yeah, we still are offering season ticket packages and some great locations. And, again, best way is to go to brewers.com for all the details and the type of packages.
What if we could get all the stuff the Brewers needed to take to Arizona into like a really nice Audi or a Lexus instead of that box truck? Would you reconsider doing the drive?
No, because, again, 2 hours is my max in a car. I could do the last leg. I could do it from maybe Flagstaff to Phoenix.
Yeah. Perfect. We'll pick you up in Flagstaff.
That sounds good. You should trust John and I to do this one year. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we could do this for you.
All right, we've got a 17-page release that we need you to sign, but that could be an option.
All good.
And whatever you're paying the guys to do it now, we'll do it for half that.
I like that already. Let's talk after we get off the air.
We'll have our people talk to your people. Rick Schlesinger is the president of business operations for the Milwaukee Brewers. For information on everything we discuss, you can go to brewers.com. Rick, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on.
It is 5:26 at WTMJ. Let's pick them up in Flagstaff. You and I leave here. We make the whole trip. By the time we get to Flagstaff, we've eaten most of the snacks, so that frees up space. We just let Rick hop in.
Yeah,
this could
bring
work.
it across the finish line.
Yeah,
for sure.
This could totally work.
I can't believe he's never driven it out there.
I can't either. He's never going to. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green today. The S&P 500 up a little bit, 12 points. The Dow was up 141. And the NASDAQ, an 11-point gainer on the day. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
St. Vincent de Paul, Milwaukee has expanded into our new 76th and Bradley Road location, where thrifters will find hundreds of bargains on everything, from clothing to furniture, electronics, home goods, and more. Our inventory is always changing, and new deals pop up every day. We're accepting donations, too, at our convenient drive-through donation area. Help us help others. St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee is now open.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, John Mercure here for senior real estate specialist Bruce and Jean Nemovitz. A lot of us have put things aside over the past couple of years, and if you've been holding off on selling your home or your parents' home to downsize into a condo or senior community, now's the time to contact Bruce and Jean. They're going to help make this very easy. I know it can be really, really stressful moving your parent out of your house or moving yourself into a different house than the one you've been in for a long time, but you're at a point in your life where you should enjoy the lifestyle you deserve, and this is part of that process. Find out how the guys I trust at the Nemovitz firm, especially Bruce and Jean, and their team of experts can guide you every step of the way. Tuesday, March 5th at Berner Botanical Garden. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. It's a free seminar. Everything you need to know. I'm going to be there. Bruce is the fun guy. He's going to be there, of course, and lots of different vendors there. Tuesday, March 5th at Berner Botanical Gardens. It's free. Tuesday, March 5th at 8:30. Many great speakers, and you'll get critical information from senior community representatives there to answer your questions. The seminar is free. Register at brucesteam.com, brucesteam.com, or you can call 262-242-6177, 262-242-6177. It's March 5th at Berner Botanical Gardens. Realtors taking you from overwhelmed to I can do this.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Hey, Greg Mansick here. Want to tell you about my favorite hangout for hounds and humans. I am talking about the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. Have you seen this place? It is gorgeous. State-of-the-art facility, the ultimate hangout for dogs and for people. Grab a drink at the tavern, meet others, hang out while your pup enjoys the dog park. That's a mud-free dog park, by the way. It's getting a little sloppy outside and having to clean off your dog's feet all day. That's not a lot of fun. Well, don't worry. It's a mud-free dog park, 12,000 square feet, heaters as well. It's fun, it is happy, it is a clean environment. The Hounds and Tap also has doggy daycare services, boarding if you're headed out of town, and professional grooming services. It's kind of a one-stop shop, right? Food trucks, bingo, fundraisers, family days on Sunday. Bring the family to the Hounds and Tap. Learn more about their services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. Hang out with your dog or without. That's thehoundsandtap.com, where every day is a play day.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Shop Ken Michaels Furniture's January New Year's sale for savings up to 50% off on better quality furniture and mattresses. Showrooms in Greenfield, Brookfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Jessica Gatzo. Your top story, the person of interest now identified in the Elkhorn double murder.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and that earlier accident in the Marquette from southbound 43 to 794 eastbound has been cleared out of the way. We do still have delays, though, coming in from just south of Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette, so be prepared for that. Northbound side slow right around the North Avenue curve up towards Locust. Westbound 94 going to be heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road, with the eastbound side backing up from about 76th Street through the Stadium Interchange to about 27th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we have mostly cloudy skies. Could see some fog on the lakeside early this evening, a low of 36. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a high of 48. At 5:31, it's 35 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the person of interest's identity revealed in the double homicide in Elkhorn that happened last week. TMJ4's Jenna Ray says Thomas Rout Jr. was identified to them by his attorney.
Russell Jones, a local criminal defense attorney, says he was retained by Rout's family yesterday and says Rout continues to maintain his innocence and denies any involvement in the double homicide. Rout's currently being held in the Walworth County Jail on a corrections hold because of his previous criminal history. Rout served several years in federal prison for a number of convictions, including arson, burglary, and forgery.
Since Rout has been out on parole, police can hold him longer than the typical 72 hours. Rout has not yet been formally charged. A carjacking with a 15-month-old in the back seat of the vehicle happened in Milwaukee on Monday afternoon. Police say that a 24-year-old driver was near Hamilton and Marshall Street when she was approached by suspects holding a gun. The suspects told the woman to get out of the car and take the 15-month-old baby from the back seat. The suspects then got in the vehicle and drove off. It was later recovered near First Street and Auer Avenue. No injuries reported. Police are still investigating and looking for the suspects. A family reunited after their car was stolen at a Quick Trip on Sunday with two young girls in the back seat.
Mom, I need you. We lost Dad.
8-year-old Charlie Jorgensen trying to reach her mother after their car was abandoned at Batteries Plus on 27th Street by the thief.
It took 2 seconds for me to respond to somebody and them to sneak in.
Father Adam Jorgensen tells TMJ4 News somebody asked him for directions as a distraction to allow another person to jump in his car, even though he was just a few feet away from the vehicle.
They are over by Batteries Plus, and then an officer's going to come over and meet you at the Quick Trip, okay?
All right. Police able to quickly reunite the family, safe and sound. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Parks Foundation is hoping to shore up its lifeguard numbers through a new program called Aquatic Ambassadors. The program will also promote swimming in Milwaukee County. Lloyd Seawright is one of the first 6 ambassadors. He tells TMJ4 News.
I grew up right up the bluff from Bradford Beach. My last name is Seawright. Been swimming and playing in the water since I was a child. Love to swim, love to paddle, love to row, love to dive. It's just all around an attractive environment to be in.
Seawright saying he believes everyone should have safe access to our lakes, rivers, and pools, and he hopes to work to make that a reality in his new role. The Brewers are starting to gear up for the season ahead of at American Family Field.
Tens of thousands of baseballs, gloves, and more equipment getting shipped out today to Phoenix, Arizona for Brewers spring training. Brewers Senior Vice President of Communications Tyler Barnes tells WTMJ that if he had one word to describe how he's feeling ahead of camp, it'd be
excited. This is the most excited I've been just in terms of the composition of the roster. I really am very excited about where we are as a team. That first day that you walk out there and you hear the pop of the glove with the ball going in, there's nothing like it.
From American Family Field, Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
The first spring training game is February 24th. The Brewers are signing free agent pitcher Jacob Junis to a 1-year, $7 million contract. The Bucks' 5-game Western Conference road trip wraps up tonight in Phoenix against the Suns. Our coverage begins at 8:30. And the NBA's trade deadline is 2 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. I'm Jessica Gatso, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 5:35.
News sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highways 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip. Greg Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac with some good news. The auto show sale is on. Perfect timing to connect with Holiday to explore all that's new in automotive, get in on enticing offers, get more for your trade, and navigate today's car market confidently. Shop an impressive selection of new models from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, or check out the incredible value and peace of mind benefits included in a GM certified pre-owned vehicle. Whatever your interest, Team Holiday's welcoming, relaxed attitude and passion for helping and delighting guests makes fans of drivers from all over. And I'm one of those loyal fans, and I know from my own experience that you'll be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer and the Badger State's top-ranked GM certified pre-owned dealer on your side. Accolades are per 2023 Buick and GMC zone sales records. Find yours and discover the difference during the auto show sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Hey, the playoffs are heating up, the big game is ahead, and you can play along for the remainder of the football season. Check out Underdog Fantasy. It's a pick'em game, and it's fast, simple, and fun. Pick between 2 or 5 players in a given game, select higher or lower on player stats, and if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money in a single night. Yes, it's legal in Wisconsin, and yes, it's a blast to play. I had a great weekend mixing sports, a little bit of NBA, a little bit of football. Marry them together, there you go. I was a winner. You can be too at Underdog Fantasy. Download the Underdog Fantasy app or visit UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up. Use the promo code WTMJ, and Underdog's going to match your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code WTMJ to get your first deposit of $10 or more, up to $100, matched, plus a special pick that you cannot lose on. I'm playing every week. It's easy and fast, and you can join me. It's Underdog Fantasy, promo code WTMJ.
At All Right Home and Remodeling, we get lots of compliments on our work. But our favorite compliment is a repeat customer. We get lots of those, too. It's what happens when you do the job right and you treat your customers right. It's how my family has been helping homeowners replace their windows, siding, doors, insulation, and more for over 50 years now. Visit us at ALLRITE remodeling.com.
All right, home and remodeling.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Kind of foggy this morning, a peak of the sun this afternoon, mild temperatures, that'll continue. And if I'm looking at understanding Brian Dysnansky's forecast, the potential of winter thunderstorms is on the horizon. Niz, what are we looking at here? This is wild.
Yeah, the forecast the rest of the week looks a lot more like I'm forecasting for April than February. You name it, we pretty much got it on the 7-day forecast. But the immediate issue this evening, most of the area cleared out from the fog from earlier, except for right along the lakeshore. We've seen it pick back up again, really thick if you're right along the lakeshore, stretching all the way from Kenosha up to Sheboygan in spots. I'm looking at some of our sky cams like Port Washington and Racine. Barely can see a thing if you're within a mile of the lakeshore.
So that's something to contend with, and it was foggy a little bit this morning. Is it just kind of that weird combination of the water being sort of cold but not super freezing and the air temp with it being what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. Which you're exactly right. You just still have a cooling influence near Lake Michigan. So basically the air cools near the lake to a point where it could no longer hold any more water, because not only is our in general air mass that's in place mild, but it's also almost saturated. Dew points are up there. Humidity levels are up there as well. I mean, it doesn't, like, you wouldn't say it feels humid, but the air is saturated. So then when you cool, the water's got to go somewhere, and that's why we get the fog.
Well, I also see record warmth in your forecast here as we look ahead for the rest of the week.
Yeah, totally. So then we turn the page to tomorrow, and we really start to climb with the temperatures. 48 for a high tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and mild. Thursday is the day that is going to be very spring-like. Unfortunately, these 50s that we're talking about aren't going to be like the most pleasant days. Mostly cloudy, breezy, mild on Thursday. Showers likely in the afternoon. And then I could see a line of thunderstorms rolling through here Thursday evening. Yeah. Thunderstorms. Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy, slight chance of showers, a high 54, and then falling in the afternoon. And then Saturday, partly cloudy and back closer to normal, around 40 degrees. But yeah, Thursday, Friday, close to records. Thursday's record high is 55, so I think we will be shy of that. Friday's is only 51, so I think our best chance of breaking a record high temperature will be on Friday.
Admittedly, I haven't looked much further ahead than the days you're talking about. Are we still in a mild stretch as we get into next week?
Yeah, I mean, a little closer to normal. I mean, lots of 30s and lower 40s, I think, for next week and the foreseeable future. So not heading into like a big polar plunge or anything, but certainly a little bit more typical for February. Not seeing any big winter storms. There was a chance on Sunday, a couple models were hinting, or excuse me, Monday, a couple models were hinting at potential snow on Monday, but that's kind of backed off for now. So, yeah, I mean, winter lovers, winter sports enthusiasts, people who like the cold stuff, definitely not going to like this forecast.
Yeah, the remaining snow likely to be gone here in the next couple of days, I would imagine.
I got a couple dirty piles, and that's about it.
Wait, did you rake them out? Did you thin out the piles a little bit to promote melting?
I didn't do that yet. I was debating maybe tomorrow will be my day. I certainly would be out there if I had the same level of snow and it was like March or April and I wanted to really get rid of it. Yeah, you got to get out there with that rake, even it out, distribute the wealth.
There you go. All right, Nance, we'll check you out later tonight.
All right, Greg. Later, buddy.
Take it easy. Brian Isnansky, Chief Meteorologist from TMJ4. We wrap up with Major Garrett, Chief White House Correspondent, after this on WTMJ. It's 5:43.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Brewers aren't the only people getting ready for spring by sending their equipment down to Arizona. Hi, everybody. Debbie Loziga here for Comfort Awnings, and there are plenty of folks looking at their backyards, yearning to get them ready for the nicer weather. Here's where Comfort Awnings comes in. They're a local family-owned company in Burlington, servicing all of southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. I called them, and they came out, and now I have a lovely backyard for all the get-togethers. Everyone is nice and comfy in the shade with my new retractable awning. And right now, Comfort Awnings has an awesome deal. You can get a free motor with a purchase of an awning or screens until the end of February. I say take your cue from the others that are preparing for spring and summer. Call Comfort Awnings at 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone. Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations. Brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp. And new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Traffic is sponsored by Lynch McQuanago, the place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Chevrolets, Fords, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams. All in one location. The place you want to go, Lynch McQuanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
546, we'll call it on WTMJ. Another look at the roads with Deb.
Okay, westbound 94, backed up out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Now, the eastbound side is going to be backed up a bit from 76th Street all the way to 27th, so just something to keep in mind there. Southbound 43, a little bit backed up now from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Southbound on 41, a little heavy from Hampton down towards Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Couple of things we've been waiting to talk to CBS Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett about. He is the guy in charge of the Takeout podcast, heard weekends here on WTMJ. And he's also got an incredible podcast out right now, Agent of Betrayal. You need to check this thing out everywhere you listen to your podcast. Major, good afternoon. Thank you for being with us.
Good afternoon, John. How are you?
Excellent.